Trafford for tonight's League Cup meeting between Manchester United and League One Barnsley. This competition provided United boss Erik ten Hag with his first trophy at the club, and given an abject start to the season, there is a feeling that this is a game he cannot afford to slip up in. Barnsley, they've already knocked out a team higher than them in the pyramid, beating Sheffield United in the last round, but this is a whole different proposition under the lights at Old Trafford. More than 6,500 visiting fans are expected to be here tonight, and also here tonight alongside me is a former League Cup winner when at Tottenham, Paul Robinson. Paul, it's a great competition, the first trophy of the season up for grabs, and there is a pressure on Manchester United, but the expectation surely is that they continue the good win they had at the weekend.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. There's a huge pressure on Manchester United, and I think you'll see that by Erik ten Hag's team selection this evening. This is a competition that he's placed great emphasis on in the past. He's alluded to it in previous press conferences just this week about his ability to win trophies, this trophy in particular, the FA Cup, and the way that Manchester United are this season, and the way that he's under pressure with his job. They're going to look to win a trophy. This is a huge competition for them this year.
It absolutely is, as the teams make their way out of the tunnel here at Old Trafford. Manchester United, just 3 survivors from the weekend win against Southampton. Dalot, Eriksson and Rashford all starting. The rest is a complete change. So let's run through the team for you. In goal, Altay Bayındır makes his second appearance for the club. Left back, we think will be Diogo Dalot. Right back, Toby Collier making his first start for the club. We'll see which way round those two line up. Central defence, Harry Maguire alongside Johnny Evans. Casemiro returns to the starting lineup alongside Manuel Ugarte, making his first start for the club after that debut off the bench on Saturday. Alejandro Garnacho starts out on the left, Anthony on the right. Christian Eriksen continues in midfield. He should play just behind Marcus Rashford, who plays through the middle. He got his first goal of the season on Saturday. To Barnsley, well, they were coming off a 3-0 defeat at the weekend, and the big blow for them is that in that defeat they lost defender Donovan Tynes, who misses out again with concussion. So they line up Gabriel Slonina in goal, Josh Earl, Mark Roberts and Miles Devigne will start in a back three. Barry Potter on the right, Corey O'Keefe on the left. Captain Luke O'Connell starts alongside Adam Phillips in midfield. Phillips making his 100th appearance for the club here tonight. And Fabio Jalla alongside Vimal Yoganathan will play just behind striker Max Waters, who got the winning goal against Sheffield United in the last round. It is a huge night for Barnsley. Their travelling support are here in numbers, and Paul, these are the nights that you look forward to in cup competitions like this.
Well, what an opportunity for a League One club to come here. I don't really like the saying a free hit, but this really is a free hit for Barnsley. They've got absolutely nothing to lose here tonight at Old Trafford, everything to gain. It's just a fantastic experience for a lot of these players. Sitting 7th in League One, they had a decent start to the league season, disappointing defeat at the weekend, but they come here tonight full of hope with no expectation, and it's just a real occasion for them to enjoy. We wondered what we were going to get tonight inside Old Trafford, whether it was going to be full, what the atmosphere is like, but I'm sure you can all hear behind, the atmosphere is absolutely fantastic, and Old Trafford's looking fairly full tonight.
It is indeed, and you know, we all love British summertime and those long nights of lightness way into the early hours, but it's quite nice to be back under the lights in a football stadium with a night game again, isn't it?
Well, under the lights, and Manchester still sat in a t-shirt, saving the coat till half-time. So actually, yeah, it's a perfect evening, isn't it? I mean, the pitch is looking fantastic, and it's a perfect night for football.
It is indeed. The teams are just gathering into their positions before we get this one underway. The referee tonight, Gavin Ward, just heading towards the centre circle. Barnsley will get us underway tonight, wearing their grey shirts, grey shorts and grey socks, playing from right to left. Manchester United in their traditional red shirts, white socks and black white shorts, and black socks. Just a final check then from Gavin Ward, and we will get this League Cup third round tie underway under the lights at Old Trafford. It is a great noise inside the stadium this evening from both sets of supporters. And there we are, underway. Barnsley get us off. It moves back to Josh Earl in defence. He plays it long up onto the right hand side, and that is well won. Knocked on to Adam Phillips, who's down the right hand side. He's got the company of Dallo, who does Collier, who does start in that left back position. So Dallo on the right tonight for Manchester United, and Barnsley doing well to win the ball back in United's half. It goes back into the centre circle with Josh Earl, who again goes long looking for the right hand side as he tries to get it into the box. There, the marauding forward Barry Cotter out on the right hand side. He's a real handful, he looks like he's going to be already, and they're looking for him every time there. Well,
it's a really positive start from Barnsley. They're not going to make any apologies tonight for going direct and playing a little bit more direct and trying to get in the face of this Manchester United team. Interesting what you picked up on before the game about Manchester United and how they would line up. It does actually look like it's Maguire and Evans as the centre halves. We wondered whether Casemiro would play there, but it is Toby Collier who's gone to left back in a flat back four with Casemiro and Ugarte as the two holding midfielders for Manchester United. But yeah, as you say, looking for Potter and going direct very, very early on in this game.
Barnsley with the ball at the back, again looking for Cotter. That one is cut out though by Collier. It will be a Barnsley throw though inside their own half. A big night for Collier this, making his first start and playing at left back, not a position that he has played for the first team, certainly.
Well, it's when we got the team sheet, like we just said there, we were trying to work out, we wrote down 2 or 3 different formations, and it was Toby Collier we couldn't quite place and wondered where he'd play. Actually, as left back, he's slotted in there. We wondered whether he'd be the holding midfielder alongside Ugarte, and it would indeed be Casemiro who plays centre half, but it's not. Toby Collier starts tonight at left back, but it looks to me like he's been given a little bit of a licence to roam into midfield in that almost hybrid full-back role that we see so often.
Yeah, he's got his work cut out from early on as well, with Cotter down that right hand side, who certainly has been the target man so far for Barnsley. But United now on the ball, and Garnacho has it on the left hand side. He finds Casemiro tries to get it back to Garnacho, but it is intercepted, and Barnsley once again pick up possession defensively. Earl on the ball again, he's out to the left hand side this time, and it is O'Keefe who cuts inside, nothing forward, he goes back. That's a loose pass, but it will be retrieved by Josh Earl before Marcus Rashford can get a sniff on it, and it's long from the goalkeeper. Yoganathan not able to win the header, but O'Keefe does win the ball back and slides in under pressure with Casemiro, and that will be a Barnsley ball.
Tells you a lot about Manchester United and where they are at the moment. Erik ten Hag, he's picked a very strong side. I know there's 8 changes from the weekend against Southampton, but he's playing with 2 holding midfielders. 2 holding midfielders against the League One side that you would expect them to win comfortably. The holding midfielder, Casemiro and Ugarte, literally sitting in front of the back 4, which is obviously a very, very defensive-minded Manchester United. And in the first 5 minutes, they've not had a lot of the ball, in all honesty.
And that's Toby Collier winning the ball up against Cotter, but actually the referee, I think, has given the free kick to Barnsley. There was a huge roar from the home fans. They thought that Collier had won the ball and it had gone out for a goal kick, but no, the referee has pulled it back, play back, and Barnsley have a dangerous free kick just to the right hand side of the penalty box. They'll be able to swing this one in, and this is the kind of position that they will feel they need to take advantage of.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. These are the positions, and these types of opportunities may be few and far between, or you would expect them to be few and far between for a team like Barnsley coming to Old Trafford. But they've got a really good free kick in a position on the right hand side, an opportunity to test this Manchester United defence.
Absolutely. Adam Phillips, former Liverpool Academy graduate, over the ball, making his 100th appearance tonight, swings it in, and that is loose, but it is, can it be retrieved by O'Keefe? No, it goes behind, and it will be a corner though to Barnsley. That one flicked clear. I wasn't sure if it was a Barnsley or a United head that got on it, but it was a United head. It might have been Harry Maguire. It's gone out for a Barnsley corner, and the League One side keeping the pressure on here at Old Trafford as they take it short. O'Keefe now fires the ball in towards the back post, and Bayendier comes out, punches clear. and it will be a Manchester United throw. Good pressure though from the visitors.
Yeah, Manchester United a little bit rattled there from set plays. Marking zonally from the initial free kick. Marcus Rashford, I think it is, gets the touch at the near post, and it eventually comes off Ugarte's head to give Barnsley another corner. And again, United defending zonally. They don't look comfortable with balls into the box, and Barnsley, you can see this early on in the game, they've got a high press. They're going to try and stop Manchester United playing from the back.
And United are going to play from the back. Bayendir with the ball at his feet, out to Harry Maguire inside the penalty box to Dalot. Barnsley trying to press them up high, but United find a way out at the moment, but it's loose again and Barnsley pick it up, but that is straight to the feet of Anthony. A chance now for the United forward to run at the Barnsley defence. He finds Eriksson on the inside. It's sprayed out to the left hand side. Garnacho now twisting and turning, drops it back into midfield to Ugarte, to Casemiro. Manchester United going backwards now. They're back onto the halfway line from what was a promising looking break from them with Anthony on the right, but they've been pushed back. Now Harry Maguire in the centre circle, weighing up his options. Dalot just to his right, out onto the right hand side. Anthony and Dalot exchanging passes. Dalot again goes back into reverse to Harry Maguire. Barnsley in a very rigid formation, 5 across the back for them, trying to make it difficult for United to find any holes and spaces to feed the ball through. United quite happy just to keep it at the back at the moment, get some touches on the ball. Evans and Maguire.
Well, this is the first time in the game, isn't it, that Manchester United have had any real possession. Barnsley have started at a real high intensity, and United just enjoying a spell with the ball at the moment.
They are indeed, and Barnsley once again they'll win it back. Jorgensen cuts it inside to Connell. Lovely feet from the Barnsley captain. Casemiro slides in and takes him down. That's really well played from the Barnsley captain. Connell draws the free kick. It doesn't come to anything now though, as Bayendir has the ball at his feet. The Manchester United goalkeeper making his first appearance since an FA Cup tie against Newport back in January. The Turkish international, joining from Fenerbahce, is making his second appearance for the club this evening. It
was a poor tackle that by Casemiro, wasn't it? It really was. That's 2 in this game. You know, the referee's been very lenient so far. He's mistimed a couple of bad challenges, Casemiro, and we know that he does pick up the odd yellow card here and there, but he looks slightly off the pace again tonight.
Yeah, surprising perhaps that the referee didn't look to his pocket, but we are only in 7 minutes into this one. That may have had a slight decision for the referee, but like Paul says, Casemiro's had a couple this evening. He's on the ball now, pops it back to Dalot, who finds Maguire, but there's real pressure from the Barnsley frontman Waters, and he has to pop it back out to Dalot. Dalot now inside to Ugarte, who finds Evans going up the left hand side. Garnacho outside him. Garnacho looking for options, goes inside to Dalot, and Anthony with the ball now back to Dalot, who's taken up a more central midfield role at the moment, the right back. Ugarte back out onto the left hand side where Evans still is, but again United having to go back, having to find space. Barnsley forcing them into reverse. They're looking for their moment. Evans on the ball again. Garnacho left, hugging the touchline. Thought about trying to take on Potter, decided against it, popped it back to Rashford, who's now gone deep. He spreads it over to the right hand side to Dalot. United enjoying a spell of possession here. Eriksson pops it out to Anthony on the edge of the penalty box. He cuts it back to Casemiro. The ball goes in. It's easily cleared though for Barnsley, and then hits off a Manchester United player and out for a goal kick. And more possession for United there, but not really testing the goalkeeper yet.
I've been impressed with Barnsley, the way that they've set up and the way that they've started this game. As you can see, they're clearly in a formation with 5 at the back out of possession, 4 in midfield in front of that 5, but they're not afraid when in possession to try and spring an attack like they are doing at the moment.
Yeah, with Jorgensen, the 18-year-old, stretching his legs, and he finds Corey O'Keefe down the left hand side. He looks for the return to Jorgensen, but it is cut out, well read by Casemiro, and now United have a chance to break. Eriksson trying to slide it through the Barnsley defence to Garnacho, but it's not perfect enough, and it's easily picked up by Gavigny at the back for Barnsley. United now looking for Rashford on the halfway line, who finds Anthony. Casemiro just inside him. Casemiro spreads it out to the left hand side to Garnacho. The game's opening up a little bit. Garnacho trying to run De Gavigny down the right. He gets the ball inside to Eriksson, who dummies it. There's nobody there, but Rashford is able to pick it up. Back to goal though. He's now looking for an opening. He's deciding to try and weave his way through. Really well done by Rashford, but eventually crowded out. It will be a Manchester United corner, and that was better from the home side.
Oh, it's brilliant by Marcus Rashford. A little bit of interchange on the edge of the box, and Marcus Rashford, he looks like he's going down a dead end, but he does a little bit of a step over, quick feet, looks really sharp, gets into the box, gets a shot away. It's blocked by O'Keefe in the end for a United corner, but that's better by United. They should be taking this game to Barnsley. They shouldn't be playing with two defensive midfielders sitting back and looking to play on the break. That's much better by Manchester United and Marcus Rashford. He's very unlucky with a shot deflected away in the end for a corner.
It was actually off Mark Roberts' face that it deflected off for the corner. So Barnsley, they've left 2 up for this corner.
It's caused United a problem. They've immediately had to reshuffle.
Yeah, interesting from the visitors. They're certainly going to try and ask a few questions of the hosts tonight, and that was a defensive header, but it was straight at Rashford, who got a first shot away, blocked, back to Rashford, second shot away, blocked again. That was a big chance for Manchester United. Poorly defended corner from Barnsley. United still have it. Eriksson spreading it from right to left. Lovely crossfield ball to Garnacho, but he can't quite control it. And Cotter picks up the ball, tries to release Jallow, which doesn't come to anything, and the ball returns back to Bindier and the Manchester United goal. But a huge chance for Marcus Rashford.
Good opportunity for Marcus Rashford, but a good spot from you with Barnsley, leaving 2 players up from the corner. It's clearly something that they've worked on to try and knock Manchester United out of their rhythm, leaving Watters and Jallow, I think it was, high up the field. So United immediately had to reshuffle and send an extra body back to help defensively. But it was a decent ball in by Manchester United, and Rashford ended up getting the shot. That's 2 in 2 minutes that he's had. No real clear-cut opportunities, but he's had a couple of chances, half chances, let's say. Goalkeeper punches it out, it comes to him on his left foot, doesn't really get a clear strike, and it's smuggled away by Barnsley.
Yeah, first real chance for Marcus Rashford, although Barnsley able to get bodies in front of it. Manchester United now trying to get on the attack again. Dalot has it on the right touchline, plays it into Casemiro, gets it back from the Brazilian, and he looks to move forward. Johnny Evans on the ball. He actually played Johnny Evans in the last match that Manchester United played against Barnsley, which was back in 2009, believe it or not.
Oh, even a dinosaur like me was still playing at that time as well. That does seem a long time ago, doesn't it?
Yeah, a young up-and-coming Johnny Evans played centre-back alongside Wes Brown.
And is that when the time Barnsley were in the Premier League?
Yes, it was, but they played in an FA Cup match against each other. Carling Cup match, sorry, it was back then, League Cup. So yeah, Johnny Evans was involved in that one. So here we have Anthony down the right hand side, finds Eriksson, pops it back to Anthony, twists and turns, tries to outrun O'Keefe, but the fullback does really, really well to win the ball off him. Finds Yoganathan inside, who clears long, looking for Watters, but it's over his head, over Maguire's head, and comfortably to the feet of Johnny Evans. Good defending.
Very good defending by O'Keefe, but how many times do we see that of Anthony? It's a criticism that's levelled of him quite often. All his step overs, all his tricks, he gets past, but then there's just no end product. He's muscled off the ball too easily. O'Keefe's just defensively strong, puts his body between Anthony and the ball and wins the ball back. Good defending by the Barnsley left back.
United on the ball. Dalot into Collier, who is playing a much more central midfield position, just now coming in from the left back area where he started, and looks like both him and Dalot will have an opportunity to do that, but that is a really loose pass from Maguire. He was looking for Dalot, missed it completely, and it's gone out for a Barnsley throw, which O'Keefe will take his time. No, he's going to leave it for his defensive partner Earl, who pops it into Connell. Just lashes it clear really, and that's won by Garnacho. It's now Ugarte on the ball to Casemiro. Casemiro out to the right hand side for Dalot, moving forward towards the Barnsley box. as Casemiro tries to find Ugarte. Does really well there, Ugarte, because it was a poor pass from Casemiro. Tries to win it, but eventually it just wouldn't fall for him or sit for him. Barnsley able to win it back. Cotter does really well against Eriksson. And Barnsley are looking to spread the play. Luke O'Connell on the ball. Plays it long. Looking for Waters, but that's well won by Evans. But it's Barnsley who win the free kick. Collier up against Cotter. And he has been a real handful, Barry Cotter, on that right-hand side. And it's his ball that goes into the box now, and it's just evades everyone. Waters was in there looking for a sniff of it. It went past him, went past a couple of United defenders. Jallow has it on the left. He now plays across into the box, and that is cleared by Harry Maguire to Anthony. He's under pressure, but he manages to pop it back to Dallow. He now gets it back just on the edge of the United box. Casemiro plays it clear, finds Eriksson. Lovely pass from Casemiro, that, and Eriksson moves it out to the left hand side for Garnacho, who spreads it from left to right. Beautiful ball onto the feet of Rashford. He cuts inside onto his right foot, and that is the opening goal. Beautiful play from Manchester United, finished off superbly by Marcus Rashford. He had two defenders to deal with. He cut inside with one touch, and once it was onto his right foot, 1-on-1 with the goalkeeper, you really didn't think there would be any other outcome, Paul.
Well, it's a fantastic ball initially by Garnacho. On the left-hand side, he just cuts in on his right foot, and he plays a long diagonal perfectly into the path of Marcus Rashford. Rashford doesn't have to break his stride, but he's still got so much to do when the ball comes to him. It's a fantastic first touch by Rashford. Takes on the defender, runs at Mark Roberts. All he does is simply tucks the ball inside him, and all of a sudden the goal opens up on the angle. Goalkeeper dives to his left to the near post. Rashford whips it high and across him into the top right-hand corner. It's a fantastic individual goal by Marcus Rashford. So simple. Garnacho, one long ball, cross field. Brilliant first touch by Marcus Rashford. Takes on his defender, cuts inside, sends the goalkeeper the wrong way, puts it in the top right-hand corner, and that's Marcus Rashford at his very best. It
was an absolutely wonderfully weighted pass from Alejandro Garnacho to Marcus Rashford, but a beautiful finish. His second goal of the season. 16 minutes played here at Old Trafford, and it's Manchester United 1, Barnsley 0, and that was the first real sweeping movement we saw from the home side. There had been a couple of nervy moments. Barnsley had put them under pressure, but that is the kind of move that United can put together, and when they play like that, Barnsley are not going to live with them.
No, that's the first real opportunity they had on goal, and that just showed how easy it was for Manchester United, the quality that they've got. It was Christian Eriksen who broke at the possession, found Garnacho, and his crossfield pass to Marcus Rashford, it was just inch perfect. The England striker didn't have to break his stride, but then he's still got so much to do. He's 30 yards from goal, his first touch, and he runs straight at Mark Roberts, cuts inside, and it's a brilliant finish from Marcus Rashford. He looked sharp, he looked fit, he looked full of confidence, and it's, you know, you can't say it wasn't coming. Manchester United, they've had 85% possession in the last 10 minutes, so after Barnsley's great start to this game, United have been growing into this.
And Marcus Rashford is growing into this season as well. Got that goal at the weekend in the win against Southampton. Has been heavily backed by his manager to continue that goal scoring run, and he's done that tonight, playing in the forward role, the number 9 role tonight, with Xerxes on the bench. A long ball now, searching for Anthony, but it's straight through to goalkeeper Slonina in the Barnsley goal, who gets it out to O'Keefe on this left hand side. No options forward, he has to go back to his goalkeeper. And Manchester United, you feel like already they're playing a little higher up the pitch after that goal.
I was surprised the way that they started. Again, I said about them playing with the two holding midfielders, if you like, in Casemiro and Ugarte being the two deep, but actually Ugarte's been allowed to roam a little bit further up, with Eriksson, Anthony now finding themselves higher up the pitch, and they're snapping into challenges a lot quicker than they were. I think they gave Barnsley a little bit too much possession early on.
And Rashford just lays it off to Eriksson. He's found Garnacho left on the edge of the box. Garnacho tries to curl one with his right foot. It's well blocked though, and Barnsley now have it in midfield, trying to get clear. And is that a foul? Yes, it will be a Barnsley free kick on that far side. Foul by Ugarte, as Barnsley trying to get clear. De Gavigny taken out by the Frenchman. So Barnsley the free kick deep inside their own half. Manchester United trying to keep them up there. They have the ascendancy, they have the opening goal. It is not what they travelling Barnsley fans wanted to concede within those opening 20 minutes, but they have done to Marcus Rashford, and Barnsley play it long, looking for Waters, but it's gone through to Johnny Evans, finds Collier on the left hand side, he moves it forward, but it's intercepted by Connell inside the Manchester United half. Cotter with the ball in, blocked by Casemiro. He'll get another opportunity though to keep possession from the throw-in.
They've got to keep going, Barnsley. They've got to stick to the game plan. They came here with a game plan, they went direct, they went long, and we're going to see another version of that now. They're going to take a long throw from midway inside the Manchester United half. It just shows how important that set plays are. The opportunity to venture into the Manchester United half this deep may not come round too often.
And they have had a couple of opportunities from set pieces. That long throw headed out though, and the flag has gone up anyway for offside, so Manchester United will regain possession quite comfortably for them. Offside. Bandier leaves it to Johnny Evans to take the free kick. The goalkeeper gets it back from his central defender, deciding whether to play it long or whether to go short. Harry Maguire asking for it alongside him, and he's ignoring him at the moment. The goalkeeper, oh no, there he does, pops it out to Harry Maguire.
Yeah, there's been a lot of talk about overplaying in certain areas, hasn't there? But I think Manchester United goalkeeper Bayindir, he does look long a couple of times, like he did just prior to that to Anthony over the top.
And that's Maguire just going long this time, trying to find Garnacho up against Cotter, and Garnacho manages to somehow win the ball there. He's looking inside, drops it back to Ugarte, who plays inside to Casemiro. Frenchman gets it back. There's space over on the right hand side for Dalot, who's asking for it. Casemiro now spreads it that way. Good touch from the Portuguese. Wasn't the easiest of passes from Casemiro to take, but he does well. Maguire now to Evans on the halfway line. Maguire gets it back, just looking for options. Dalot gives him one on the right hand side. Again, nothing forward, so back it goes to Maguire. 21 minutes gone here at Old Trafford, and Manchester United leads by 1-0. Marcus Rashford on the score sheet. Maguire to Evans. Evans taking the ball across the halfway line to Garnacho on the left hand side touchline, but that's a poor touch from the Argentinian, and it goes out for a Barnsley throw.
Just watching the two managers in the dugouts below us, two very, very different managers. Erik ten Hag stood there in his, I think they're khaki green pants and his black puffer jacket.
Very casual tonight,
yeah,
isn't
very
it?
Casual, stood there with his hands in his pockets, whereas the Barnsley dugout's quite animated. Darryl Clark talking to his two assistants, trying to get messages onto the pitch.
Barnsley winning a free kick. Ugarte taking out De Gavigny in the middle of the pitch. It's now Cotter down the right hand side. He skips past Collier, and Collier leaves a foot in there, and the Barnsley player goes down, and it will be a free kick. That is a really dangerous area. He did really well there, Cotter. He first give and go against Garnacho, got past him. Collier leaving a foot out and just taking down the right wing back, and this is a dangerous area.
Well, you picked out Cotter earlier on in the game, didn't you, as a real threat for Barnsley and as a player that they're looking for, and everything that they've done, and they've done well, and they've got free kicks in dangerous positions, has come through Barry Cotter and down that right hand side, and yet again he's done it. He's done well. He's got around the outside of Collier, who's fouled him, and he's got his team a free kick again in a dangerous, decent position where they can put a ball into the box and try and put some more pressure on this Manchester United defence.
Yeah, these are the opportunities that Barnsley will need to try and take advantage of if they're to try and get something back on the board tonight. They trail by 1-0, but they have a very dangerous free kick on the right hand side of the pitch, just outside the penalty box. It goes short to Phillips, and Phillips takes aim, but it flies over the top of the crossbar, and that would have been a sensational moment for Adam Phillips, making his 100th appearance tonight. A Liverpool fan, what a place to make your 100th appearance as a Liverpool fan.
It was a really well worked free kick as well. He just ran away from the initial free kick looking as though he wasn't interested, turned round and the ball was played into him, and it was actually bumped into him. I don't think the actual plan was for him to hit a shot on the volley. I think it was for him to lift it into the box, but it was his first touch. He gave him a nice sweet half volley, and he just inadvertently lifted it over Bayindir's crossbar.
Yeah, he is Barnsley's top scorer this season, 4 goals in his 8 appearances so far, so he is on goal scoring form. Marcus Rashford just losing out on the loose ball to Luca Connell, who plays it back to his goalkeeper. Mark Roberts takes over. Roberts trying to find Waters with a lovely long ball, cut out though by Casemiro. It's now Rashford heading towards the box, into the penalty box. He's got Yoga Nathan and he's got O'Keefe for company, and O'Keefe does really well. It goes out, but it will be a Manchester United throw-in right next to the corner flag, and Marcus Rashford is proving to be a real handful tonight for this Barnsley defence. He's looking sharp. He's already on the score sheet, and he is leading the line for Manchester United tonight. Casemiro drops it back to Evans, just inside the centre circle. He moves it out to Collier, playing in left back this evening. Toby Collier. Harry Maguire back to his goalkeeper. Manchester United enjoying another little spell of possession here. But Barnsley defending really solidly once again, as Johnny Evans looks to play it forward. He finds Maguire, right hand side. He's got Anthony ahead of him, who he finds. Anthony tries to flick it past O'Keefe, but O'Keefe read it, and Barnsley back on the ball. Phillips into Yoga Nathan, who gets a heavy clatter there from Ugarte, and that will be another free kick for Barnsley. And Manchester United, they've given away a few free kicks now, mostly in areas around the centre of the pitch where it's not quite so dangerous, but these are they're giving Barnsley the turnovers for free here.
In the centre of the pitch, you mean around Casemiro and Ugarte? The two central, both of them, aren't they? They're flying into challenges. They mistimed a couple of challenges, and that was another late one by Ugarte. But once again, I mean, it's a free kick near the halfway line, but Barnsley are going to use it as an opportunity to put the ball forward into the box.
They are indeed. Josh Earl standing over the ball, and they will certainly use this as an opportunity to try and put some pressure on United. He was going long to the right hand side, I think looking for Cotter again. It was one, but Connell's got it back, and he now gets it back to Earl in the position where he just took the free kick from. He plays it forward looking for Waters, but Yoga Nathan picks it up. Casemiro manages to win it back though from the Welsh under-19 international. Now it's Rashford looking for Garnacho, right to left, but that is a really well timed header from Mark Roberts to ensure that that ball didn't go to the Argentinian winger.
It's a really good header, really good defensive header. Rashford this time finds himself free on the right hand side, and he tries to return the favour that Garnacho did for him for the goal. He in turn plays a really big diagonal, and it's Roberts just underneath it, gets ahead on it. Garnacho was in, all he had to do is chest it down, and he was through one-on-one with the goalkeeper. Good defensive play.
Really good header, and Barnsley again win a free kick. Jallo this time bundled over, so inside their own half it will be left to the goalkeeper, Gabriel Slonina, on loan from Chelsea. The American, he will look long again, you would assume, and there he does, playing it long again down that right hand side, but it's won in the air by Evans as Sir Alex Ferguson looks on. Somebody who knows exactly what it takes to win this trophy and many trophies.
Yeah, many trophies
here at Manchester United.
As he sits a couple of rows along from us in the Sir Bobby Charlton stand, looking at the Sir Alex Ferguson stand. We're surrounded by legends and the DNA of this club.
Yeah, a winner of this League Cup trophy on 4 occasions as Manchester United manager. Mark Roberts trying to clear, smashes it off Eriksson but gets away with it. Digavigny able to clear it up as Luca Connell has it in midfield, and he's gone down again under Ugarte's pressure, and again a free kick for Barnsley. They're
clever, Barnsley. They're really clever. There's not too much prettiness about their game, but they put the ball in the areas where they know they're going to challenge, they're going to win free kicks. You know, they go quite direct into the two front players, into the wide players, and they're going to try and get themselves set plays in dangerous areas.
Ball forward, trying to find Phillips. It is won back by Yoga Nathan. It's moved out to the right. Waters is there, but he can't do much with that ball. Tries to flick it back over his head, but Dallow's able to pick up, and he plays it back to his goalkeeper under pressure, but he gets it clear. Headed forward as far as Harry Maguire, who chests it down to Ugarte, who does really well, shows great strength there, the Frenchman, to evade the pressure, and it wins the free kick. This time Manchester United winning it. That was really well played, because he was under a lot of pressure, and Harry Maguire perhaps perhaps wouldn't have appreciated the little chest down from Maguire under quite so much pressure.
No, he was under a lot of pressure when he received the ball there, Agate, and his low centre of gravity showed a lot of strength. Turned, and not only did he get his team out of trouble, he turned defence into attack really quickly. He got on the wrong side of O'Connell, and he was running at the Barnsley defence, and it wasn't for the foul from Connell that stopped him.
So Dallo on the right hand side to Anthony on this right touchline, plays it back inside to Casemiro, inside the Barnsley half, but back now over the halfway line to Johnny Evans, looking for options. He decides to go long, looking for the run of Rashford, but that one is easily headed clear. O'Keefe has it now on this left hand side. It's into Yoganathan, who plays it back to O'Keefe. He's got lots of red shirts around him and does lose out to Dallo, who now has it on this right hand side, inside to Eriksson to Rashford to Dallo, little triangle. Dallo plays into Casemiro, who now looks for the run of Anthony. There's nobody in the box, but Rashford is moving in that direction now. Anthony on the right hand side of the penalty area, twisting, turning, drops it back to Dallo, who's got Eriksson just inside him. Eriksson finds Casemiro, lovely touch inside. Dallo plays it back, and Garnacho's shot is incredibly well blocked, but I think the flag is going to go up. It does. There was a pretty clear offside in that move, but lovely little ball inside from Casemiro had Dallo been onside.
Clever interchange there, the edge of the box. Christian Eriksen into Casemiro, just lifts the ball in behind the back five of Barnsley. Dallo finds himself offside, but yeah, positive signs again from Manchester United, all coming down this right hand side. Anthony involved in the play, but he's so one-dimensional, Anthony, very, very left-footed, and it does look a tight decision offside. We're just getting to see it again.
It looked clear. It was not clear. No VAR at this stage of the League Cup, and that would have been a very interesting call had we had it. But that's a ball played straight through the middle. Rashford trying to get through. The goalkeeper comes out really well, but the offside flag goes up once again, and that was just a beautiful pass from Casemiro right through the middle of Barnsley's defence, but really well done from Slonina, the goalkeeper, to come out and thwart Marcus Rashford, who thought he just had to dink it over him. Yeah,
the goalkeeper's depth perception there was excellent. Read the through ball really, really well, did the young goalkeeper. But again, it's another tight offside decision. It's a ball through by Casemiro, and it's the pace of Rashford just on the shoulder of Mark Roberts, I think it is. Very, very tight. As you say, there's no VAR here tonight, so there's no controversy, there's no discussion about it. Linesman, the assistant referee's decision is final, but it was another close one.
It was indeed, and actually in that move before that, where Dallo was offside, unbelievable block from the Barnsley defence to deny Garnacho. It was an empty net, and a brilliant block. He wasn't to know. Barnsley defenders, there was two of them slid in. They weren't to know that Dallo was going to be flagged offside. So really, really positive defending from Barnsley. But Manchester United, they are beginning to turn the screw in this one. Eriksson, he's clipped from behind as he tried to turn away from Earl. He wins a free kick on the halfway line. United take it quickly, but too quickly for referee Gavin Ward. So back it goes. Casemiro now drops it to Dallo. The Brazilian gets it back, moving forward, looking for a little opening in front of him, doesn't get it, so back it goes to Harry Maguire, who finds Johnny Evans. Back to his centre half partner. Casemiro drops deep, looking for it, moving over the halfway line. He finds Marcus Rashford, gets it back from Rashford, and there's an option of Anthony on the right. That's where he goes. Anthony again will try to weave his way past the defenders, but he uses the support of Dallo. Lovely ball in from Dallo, and Garnacho with the effort, but that is well blocked. That was a beautiful little cutback from Dallo, but now Barnsley are on the attack, and it's Cotter down the right hand side trying to break. He's got Collier ahead of him. Couple of step overs as Cotter looks to try and get the ball into the box, which he does, but it's blocked by Evans. Collier's able to sweep up. Lovely move from Manchester United. Great opportunity from Barnsley on the break.
Another good block by Josh Earl in his own box. Back to front very quickly from Barnsley, but here come Manchester United again.
Here come United. Anthony to Rashford. Rashford looking to get it back to the Brazilian, which he does. The goalkeeper comes out. Does he catch Anthony? The referee says yes, he does. He points at the spot. A really good 1-2. Anthony kept going. It looked like it was goalkeeper's ball. Anthony gets a toe in ahead of him. Was there contact though, Paul?
Well, I credited the goalkeeper earlier about his depth perception, his reading of the through ball. He gets that all wrong, the goalkeeper. He should never be coming for that. He should stay on his line. The ball's poked through by Rashford to Anthony on the angle. It's heading towards the corner of the 18-yard box. He's running away from goal, Anthony, if he gets there. And if he does get there, he's at full stretch, which he gets there. He's at full stretch. He goes round the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper leaves his arm there and Anthony runs into him. He can see what's happening, he can see the goalkeeper coming. The goalkeeper should be nowhere near it, he should be stayed on his line. It's a bad decision by the Barnsley goalkeeper.
Anthony's come under a little bit of criticism, perhaps you could say, from his manager this week. Erik ten Hag saying he has to earn the right to play and to start. He gets that opportunity tonight, and that was desire, and he takes the penalty, and in it goes into the back of the net, and Anthony makes it 2-0 to Manchester United. And we played 34 minutes here at Old Trafford, and it was great desire from Anthony to get on the end of that ball. It looked like the opportunity had gone. He got his toe to it, he won the penalty, he took the penalty, he made no mistake, and that is a first goal for Anthony of the season, and actually a first goal since April for the Brazilian. And
you could see he was desperate to take that penalty. He did well to win the penalty. As I say, the goalkeeper shouldn't be getting himself involved with that situation that far out of his 6-yard box on the angle, but Anthony, you give him credit, steps up, takes the penalty, and as he took the penalty, I wasn't confident. It was one of those silly little run-ups. He stops 3 yards short of the ball, does a couple of little stutters, and then in the end ends up taking a one-step penalty. But credit to him, it's whipped away from the goalkeeper into the bottom left-hand corner, left-footed, going away from the goalkeeper, bottom corner, staring at the goalkeeper, and as I say, he stops. It's almost a one-step penalty.
It is, and it's right into the side netting, because Slonina actually dives the right way, but it's so perfectly into the corner that he's never going to stop that. And Anthony gets his first goal of the season in his first start of the season. And it is Manchester United 2, Barnsley 0. We've played 36 minutes here at Old Trafford. Garnacho down under a heavy collision, but he's back up on his feet, and it's been impressive from Manchester United. I mean, we spoke about the pressure that they're under coming into this one. He's made a lot of changes tonight, Erik ten Hag, but he's getting a reaction from those out there. He
made a lot of changes before the game, but you look at the personnel on the team sheet, they're still a strong Manchester United, which shows you how much he wants to win this game. In fact, how much he actually probably had to win this game. You know, as a Manchester United manager and a Manchester United team, losing at home in this competition is unthinkable. They got knocked out of this competition in this round last season, and they've had 5 defeats to lower league opposition since 2011. So defeat tonight for them was absolutely not in question. It's not something they could have contemplated.
A long ball over the top, Rashford's on to the end of it, he touches it back for Eriksen, loses his feeting slightly, but he's still got hold of the ball. Christian Eriksen, great feet, finds Anthony on the edge of the box, who dinks it in, but that is well cleared by De Gevigny. But it's still Manchester United. Casemiro, edge of the box, takes aim, but that's soft, straight at the goalkeeper. An opportunity there for Casemiro, it opened up for him, but he just couldn't quite get the connection on it to really trouble the goalkeeper, and that one is straight at the American as he pops it out now to Josh Earl, gets it back. He's got Marcus Rashford for company, he goes long, looking again for Cotter. Collier wins it though, but it's out for a Barnsley throw-in just on the halfway line. Which Cotter will slowly go up to the cone to retrieve.
Yeah, they won't be in a rush now, Barnsley. They want to get into half-time with damage limitation. They won't want to concede any more goals. Manchester United have grown into this game. Listen, you give Manchester United credit, but you would expect them to be in this situation in the game. This is a game they've got to dominate, they've got to win. You know, they're playing against an inferior opposition. So had they not have been 2 goals up at this point in the game, you'd maybe be surprised. They should be enforcing their dominance over a Barnsley side who, let's give them the credit, they started the game very well, but have offered very, very little other than set plays and long balls forward.
This is a long ball forward from Cotter, but it's well won by Waters, but the offside flag does go up, and Manchester United will take the free kick. Maguire into Ugarte, under pressure, but moves it out to Dalot, gets it back from the Portuguese and plays it out to Collier, to Garnacho. Rashford back into the path of Garnacho, who's racing clear towards the penalty box. There's a slip and Garnacho is into the penalty box. He tries to find Eriksen. I think he could have gone by himself, but tries to find Eriksen, and that is intercepted, and Barnsley are able to get it clear. And that was a huge opportunity, because De Gevigny on the other side had slipped as Garnacho raced past him. So the Argentinian was all on his own. He was able to take his time, but he tried to find his teammate when possibly the better option would have been to shoot.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. I think he left 3 or 4 Barnsley players falling over in his wake. He was that quick. Garnacho down the left-hand side looked really sharp, really positive. Got just into the box and made the wrong decision. Tried to find Christian Eriksen with the outside of his boot instead of shooting himself.
Yeah, beautiful little flick from Anthony there to find Eriksen with a pass that was a little bit short, it looked, but Anthony able to backheel it into the path of his teammate. Casemiro now spreads it wide to Garnacho, who again has found a great position on the left hand side, just inside the penalty box. He knocks it inside to Rashford on the byline, but it's going to run out of play. Got a little touch on the way through, so it will be a corner to Manchester United. We played just about 40 minutes here at Old Trafford. It's Manchester United 2, Barnsley 0, and the home side beginning to look very comfortable.
They're looking like they're having fun. I mean, it started off a little bit edgy for them. Barnsley started really well with long balls, but as the game's gone on, Manchester United have grown into it and they've got stronger and they've overpowered Barnsley. They've got their 2 goals, they're creating more opportunities, and Casemiro, Eriksen, Anthony, Garnacho, the interchange, it's looking very, very comfortable. They're growing in confidence, you can see it.
They are, as they take the corner short. Eriksen looking for Garnacho. They absolutely rifles the ball past him. Jallo now has it and is crossing the halfway line, but it's all cleared up and the ball goes back to Bayindir in the Manchester United goal. That's one of the strangest corners I might have ever seen.
That's very kind of you. Possibly the worst. It was fired back at Garnacho, wasn't it? He couldn't trap it. Ended up going back into the Manchester United half. Yeah, it was a strange, poor corner by Manchester United.
Anthony on the right hand side, lovely little feet there to twist and turn his way past O'Keefe, but O'Keefe gets back to put pressure on him again. He goes looking inside for Rashford. Just a little misunderstanding between Anthony and Rashford there, and Barnsley are able to clear it up, but it is out for Manchester United throw in. The Barnsley manager Darryl Clark getting a little applause there for a couple of keepy ups there.
Well, biggest cheer of the night from the Barnsley fans, but what a touch it was by the manager, wasn't it? It was fired into outside of his foot, flicked it up, kept it up, and then caught it.
Yeah, still got it.
He's got his boots on down there, hasn't he? Very dressed very differently to Erik ten Hag tonight.
Absolutely. Here for business. Harry Maguire on the ball, defensively drops it back to his goalkeeper. Pressure again from Barnsley in the forward areas, but Manchester United able to play through that press as Rashford takes the ball over the halfway line. Looking for Collier, but that's a loose one. Cotter able to pick it up, finds Jallo. Now it's time for Barnsley to go on the attack. Jallo trying to sneak past Johnny Evans, which he does do, and gets it back out onto this right hand touchline to Cotter, who plays it inside to Connell. Connell's pass inside is cut out by Ugarte, and Ugarte looks in to be a little bit of bother here under the challenge of Connell. His right arm immediately going up into the sky. I don't know if he was caught there or if that is something a little bit more serious. There's a few Manchester United players around Ugarte who's still down clutching that right ankle, and the medics are being called out to have a look at the Frenchman. This would be a real blow for the player and for Manchester United. This is his first start since joining the club from PSG. We can take another look at it here, and I think he just caught by the studs of Connell as he went to get the ball there.
I think it's Ugarte that's overstretching. It's initially his own bad touch, but it's Connell who goes for it, and he goes over the top of the ball completely accidentally and stands on the top of the foot where the foot meets the ankle, and immediately Ugarte puts his hand up. I mean, we're getting a close-up of it now. He's got some blood coming from his shin, but I think it's his ankle that's the main problem. He's been in the wars, Ugarte, in this first half. He looks okay. He sat up talking to the physio, but it was O'Connell who just stood on his ankle inadvertently, but it's actually Barnsley who have the free kick in another dangerous position.
Not sure where the blood on the knee came from, but he certainly has. He's put himself about a little bit tonight for Manchester United. I'll just run through a few of the scores whilst we're waiting for this free kick to be taken in the League Cup tonight. Sheffield Wednesday leading by a 1-0 away to Blackpool. Brentford 3-1 up against Leyton Orient. Everton 1 apiece against Southampton. Preston are leading Fulham by a 1-0, and Crystal Palace are 1 up away to QPR. All those games are at half time. So a free kick for Barnsley, and it is the captain Connell who stands over it at the moment as they prepare to throw this one into the box. It's around 25 yards from goal, just on the right hand side. An opportunity to stick one in to the penalty box. O'Keefe also stands alongside. We are coming up to half time, 44 minutes on the clock. What an opportunity this could be for Barnsley to claw one back just before the break and go into the dressing rooms at half-time with something to hang on to. O'Keefe leaves it and it's now O'Connell. O'Connell leaves it and it's now Keefe who fires it in, but that is headed clear by Casemiro. Garnacho battling for it. He wins it on the left-hand touchline and he plays it up the line, perfectly played, judged to Rashford, but a sliding challenge in there from Cotter and puts it out for a Manchester United throw.
That's a disappointing delivery by Corey O'Keefe for Barnsley there. He got a real good opportunity. We talked about the free kicks and the set plays they've had in this first half, and that was probably the most dangerous position that they had, and it was a really disappointing delivery into the box, easily dealt with by Manchester United.
2 added minutes here at Old Trafford in this first half. Manchester United leading by 2-0. Ugarte playing it forward across the halfway line to Garnacho on this left touchline. Inside he goes to Collier, who's taken an advanced position under pressure, wins the free kick, takes it quickly to Rashford, driving forward towards the box, looks for Eriksson, couldn't quite get on the end of it, and it's cleared by O'Keefe. Maguire heads it clear, hands up for offside, and it was indeed offside, so Manchester United will take the free kick. Casemiro inside to Ugarte, who's been industrious in this first half for Manchester United, making his first start for the club. He gets the ball back from Garnacho, goes back again to Evans. Evans has the goalkeeper behind him, where he pops it back to, and he looks long by Ndiaye. Long to Anthony, who's rushing inside, trying to get on the end of it, which he almost does. Really well read by O'Keefe, but it's only gone as far as Casemiro, who now finds Rashford driving into the penalty box onto his right foot, cuts inside, great feet, it breaks to Garnacho, it's in the back of the net. That was not the intended outcome, but it's the intended outcome of the goal, if you see what I mean. But it was brilliant feet from Rashford. It somehow finds its way to Garnacho, who gets a touch on it past the goalkeeper, and that, you'd have to say, as we approach half-time, is game over.
Yeah, inadvertently found Garnacho 6 yards out in front of the goal, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, pokes it home with his right foot into the bottom right-hand corner, and you would think, coming into half-time, that's game over for Manchester United. All starts with Marcus Rashford on the left-hand side. Seen him do it so many times, gets the ball out of his feet, cuts inside to the box, he takes on 2, 3, 4 Barnsley defenders, and just as he tries to get the ball out of his feet, it ricochets off the last Barnsley defender, inadvertently, as I say, puts Garnacho through, one-on-one with the goalkeeper, pokes it in, toe poke, bottom left-hand corner of the goal, nothing the goalkeeper can do. 3-0 Manchester United going into half-time, and as I say, Manchester United dominant. You would think that's pretty much game, set and match this early on.
An absolute gift for Garnacho as he scores his 3rd goal of the season for Manchester United. Scored in the Community Shield, scored on Saturday, and has scored again tonight. So Barnsley manager there, Darrell Clark, getting a shot of him on the screen here, a shake of the head. There's a big team talk ahead for him to come, because there is the half-time whistle, and Manchester United lead in this game by 3-0. Marcus Rashford in the first half, or early in the first half, put them ahead after a lovely pass from Garnacho. Anthony from the penalty spot after he was taken down by goalkeeper Slanina, and then a gift as the ball broke kindly to Garnacho, who just had to place it into the back of the net. And Manchester United are cruising here at Old Trafford. Barnsley have had positives in this half, Paul, but Manchester United have just been too clinical and at times too good. Too good.
It's as you would expect a Manchester United team to perform, especially here at Old Trafford against a League One side. They had a little bit of pressure that they absorbed early on in the first 5 minutes, but after that they've had no real threat on their goal. Growing into the game, Casemiro's kind of ran the game. Him and Ugarte have been very secure in possession, but the pace, even on the turnover possession of Anthony, Garnacho on the left-hand side, and Marcus Rashford has caused a real problem. Every time they've got the ball, they looked a real threat going forward. The creativity of Eriksson, the pace that they've got in Garnacho and Marcus Rashford, it has been more than comfortable for United, and the longer the game's gone on, you just expected Manchester United to get more and more goals. For Barnsley going into the half-time, it was damage limitation, keep it down and try and get back into this game in the second half. But at the moment, the way that they're playing with 5 at the back, the 4 in midfield, I'm struggling to see a way back into this game for them, I really am.
And Manchester United, the interchanging. We've seen Collier, we've seen Dallow pop up in midfield positions and forward positions. They're causing all sorts of problems, and like you say, Rashford running through the middle tonight. He's been a real handful. He's looked sharp and he's been clinical as well.
They looked edgy when they started, Manchester United. They started the game with Barnsley putting them under pressure, but as I say, they finished the half enjoying it as you would expect them to. They have been dominant in possession. You look at all the stats, shots on goal, shots on target. Yeah, we can sit here and we can wax lyrical about the players, but they're playing against the League One side. You would expect that from Manchester United, and you would expect that from the players on the pitch. They're 3-0 up and cruising and enjoying themselves, and you would expect from them more in the second half. There'll be some changes, you would think, from Erik ten Hag. He will want more goals. He'll want his side to progress and be more dominant. But at the moment, he'll be very, very pleased with what he's seen in there. Barnsley, on the other hand, the team talk will be very different. It will be a restructuring of how not to concede more goals and maybe stay in the game and try and get a goal late on. And the manager will want some positives to take from this game. He won't want to leave here conceding 6, 7, 8 goals. He's going to want something positive that he can pick out the performance that he can put into next week's league games.
I'm not sure Barnsley will be too happy with Erik ten Hag making changes, because with the 8 changes he made ahead of kick-off tonight, they've got an absolutely stacked bench to choose from, so that might not fill Darrell Clarke with too much hope that Manchester United might make changes. But listen, he said before this game that these are the nights that you find out the most about your players. He's new into the job here. He knows that there could be, he will hope, big games to come this season as they try to get themselves back up into the Championship. He said this is the night where you will find out those players that can deal with this sort of environment, this kind of night, a huge support inside Old Trafford, who can step up and who can handle that sort of pressure.
But that's exactly the same for Erik ten Hag as well. So Erik ten Hag's made a lot in his pre-match press conferences. There's been so much talk about Anthony, Garnacho, Marcus Rashford, players on the fringes of the Manchester United 11, not necessarily that start every week. So from a Manchester United point of view, players that are knocking on Erik ten Hag's door saying, why aren't I playing? I should be playing. They've been given an opportunity tonight, and those players are actually performing in a way which now gives them license to go knock on his door and say, why aren't I playing? Because quite often players get given an opportunity and they make it very easy for the manager because they don't perform to the level you would expect them to. The Manchester United players tonight have done. So Anthony can go to the manager and say, look, why aren't I playing? That's what I can do.
Paul, thank you very much. Well, that is half-time here in this League Cup tie. It is Manchester United 3, Barnsley 0. I'm going to hand you back now to Kelly Cates.
It's as Deno was alluding to in the commentary, they struggled down the left and right hand side. The first one they got away with down the left, where Reinders went a fraction early and they caused a problem. Down that right hand side they scored the goal from Pulisic, but those situations didn't occur again after that happened, so they got punished for it, but then they've learned from the mistakes. The balance in midfield has been a lot better, the pressure on the ball, but also in possession, just the positions that the players are taking up. AC Milan really struggling to deal with Liverpool's shape.
Stephen, Andy, and thank you very much. We'll be back at the San Siro for second half commentary of that game, with Liverpool leading Milan by 2-1 at half time. Earlier this evening, Aston Villa beat the Swiss champions Young Boys by 3-0, and we'll hear from Unai Emery very shortly. Real Madrid and Bayern Munich also in Champions League action, and Rob Butler's been keeping across all the other scores in the competition across Europe. Hi, Rob.
Yeah, thanks, Kelly. And no issues in the first half there for Bayern Munich. They lead 3-0 at home to Dinamo Zagreb. Harry Kane with the first goal on 19 minutes from the penalty spot. That's his 30th Champions League goal. And tonight he's equalled Wayne Rooney's record for most scored in the tournament by an Englishman. Rafael Guerreiro and Michael Olise scored the other 2 Bayern goals. The holders, Real Madrid, well, they're playing Stuttgart at the Bernabeu, and it's 0-0 there. Elsewhere, Portuguese champions Sporting are up against Lille in Lisbon. 1-0 to the home side in that one. Ex-Coventry man Victor Grikesh scoring in there. And Lille are down to 10 men as well. Fresh from his first England cap, Angel Gomez has been sent off in that one. Earlier on in Turin, Juventus beat PSV Eindhoven 3-1. Former Leeds United midfielder Weston McKennie, he's a USA international, he was amongst the scorers for Juve. That's you up to date, Kelly?
Rob, thank you very much for that. And we can also get up to date on the 7:45 kickoffs and some of the key matches in the League Cup this evening. Let's start at Goodison. It's Everton against Southampton. Charlie Slater's watching.
And it's 1-1 with 6 minutes played in the second half. Southampton have started the brighter of the two as Aribo tries to put a ball into the box here. Both of these sides desperate for something to build on to take back into their faltering league form. But at the moment, still 1-1.
At Loftus Road, watching QPR against Crystal Palace. Aaron Paul.
QPR 0, Crystal Palace 1. Palace still leading through Eddie Nketiah's first goal for the football club. And it is Nketiah who had the better of the chances, or the best of the remainder of the chances, because there was only actually one more in the second half. He fired a shot in towards goal, in off the left. It was blocked by his own colleague, Daniel Munoz. QPR, they've come out to attack in this second half. Elijah Dixon-Bonner has come off. Keita Dembele on in his place. QPR 0, Crystal Palace 1, Rangers on the attack.
And watching Preston against Fulham, it's Betty Glover.
Preston still leading 1-0, Kelly, despite Fulham having most of the possession and control. Preston's Ryan Ledson fired them in front of first half strike that landed in the bottom corner. Fulham do look dangerous, but they've just been struggling with that final ball. Preston 1, Fulham 0.
And at Brentford Leyton Orient, John Southall.
Brentford leading by 3-1. Remember, they had to come from 1-0 down. Now pretty much in control. Goals from Carvalho, Damsgaard and Norgard finished just before half-time from the edge of the penalty area. All pretty comfortable at the moment. Brentford 3, Leyton Orient 1.
Elsewhere in the EFL Cup, Stoke lead Fleetwood by 1-0. It's Blackpool 0, Sheffield Wednesday 1. And as we heard, Manchester United 3-0 up at home to Barnsley at half-time. Second half coming up from Milan, where it's AC Milan 1, Liverpool 2 at half-time. Commentary from there, and we'll hear from Unai Emery after Aston Villa's win. First, though, here's the news on 5 Live with Nick Hatfield.
The voice of the UK.
And the home of the Premier League.
This is BBC Radio 5 Live.
Thank you, Kelly. Good evening. 9 people have been killed and almost 3,000 injured after electronic pages used by Hezbollah fighters exploded across Lebanon. The militant group has blamed Israel and promised revenge. Israel hasn't commented. Our security correspondent, Frank Gardner, says a new batch of pages was recently delivered to Hezbollah.
It took really timely intelligence to know that this batch was coming and where it was, and it took the technical capability to insert the high explosive inside it. This was military-grade high explosive. I've spoken to experts on this. They think it's something called HMX, probably 10 to 20 grams. Somebody, and everyone assumes it's Israel, but Israel is not commenting on this, somebody got inside the supply chain.
Prosecutors in New York have charged the rapper Sean Diddy Combs with racketeering and sex trafficking, saying he abused and threatened victims over decades. Combs' lawyer says he'll plead not guilty. Instagram has announced new accounts for children aged 13 to 15 to try to protect them from harmful content. Privacy settings will be switched on by default, which only parents can change. The Liberal Democrat leader, Sir Ed Davey, has closed his party's annual conference in Brighton by promising to offer a positive alternative to what he calls the Labour government's doom and gloom. He also urged Sir Keir Starmer to take action to prevent a winter crisis in the NHS. And a partial eclipse of tonight's full moon should be visible across the UK from the early hours of the morning. It's also a supermoon, so it should appear larger and brighter than usual.
Hello, I'm Nihal Arthanaika. Headliners. We go deep with the biggest names in entertainment, culture and the arts. And I'm not trying to boast here, but look, it is what it is. Huge guest, the comedian's comedian, Stuart Lee.
I was going to be a stand-up comedian, but I would be different to the others because I would only tell the truth.
Headliners with Nihal Arthanaika. Listen on BBC Sounds.
This is 5 Live Sport.
The Champions League with Kelly Cates.
Listen on BBC Sounds.
And we'll bring you Champions League commentary very shortly. The second half from the San Siro, where it's Milan 1, Liverpool 2. We'll have Stephen Warnock and Ian Dennis with us very shortly. But there's been a goal at Loftus Road in the EFL Cup. It's QPR against Crystal Palace. Aaron Paul.
I did say Rangers were on the attack. They bagged themselves an equaliser. QPR 1, Crystal Palace 1. It's Sam Field with an exquisite bit of skill and a sumptuous finish past Dean Henderson to bring QPR level here. Rangers 1, Crystal Palace 1.
Nothing like a bit of self-congratulation there, Aaron, with the prediction that QPR were going to get their way back into that game. Earlier on, Aston Villa made a triumphant return to the top tier of European football after a 40-year absence with a 3-0 win over Young Boys. And it was even more poignant following the sad news of the death of Villa legend Gary Shaw yesterday. Here's Unai Emery.
We want to dedicate this victory for Gary Shaw, his family, and for all the supporters of Aston Villa, all the family of Aston Villa. And we are going to try to get in our way following in that moment they achieve it.
Give us your thoughts on the team's performance. Young Boys come at you for the first 10 minutes, but then you were sort of in control for the rest of the match.
We were adapting at the beginning of the match as well to the pitch. It was not easy for the players. The control is a little bit different when you are playing a normal pitch. But again, we recovered our positioning and we were controlling the game. Defense as well good. We didn't concede nothing. It's very, very important how we got it. It's respecting the opponent, being responsible, the players, mature, organized, and imposing through it the game.
As Unai Emery said, it was a mature performance from Aston Villa in that 3-0 victory against Young Boys. Tomorrow, our Champions League coverage continues. Premier League champions Manchester City take on Inter Milan. That's a repeat of the 2023 final in Istanbul. It gets underway at 8 and there's build-up from 7. And as we've been hearing, a lot's been made of the new Champions League format and the resulting fixture congestion. Here's their captain, Rodri, on whether player strikes could happen in the future.
Yeah, I think we're close to that. I mean, because it's easy to understand. I mean, if we're asking something, and I think it's something general, I think you ask any player, he will say the same. It's not like the opinion of Rodri or whatever. No, I think it's the general opinion of the players. And if it keeps this way, it will be a moment that we have no other option. I really think, but let's see, I don't know what's going to happen, but it's something that worries us because we are the guys that suffer, so yeah.
That's one to watch with those comments from Rodri, and there's more on this after 10 o'clock. Also, the Scottish Premiership champions Celtic host Slovan Bratislava in their opener tomorrow. We'll have updates of that one on 5 Live Sport as well. Elsewhere today, St Johnstone have sacked manager Craig Levein just 5 games into the Scottish Premiership season. They're 10th in the table with 1 win and 4 defeats. In the cricket, the County Championship's penultimate matches of the season began today. Somerset and Surrey are chasing the Division 1 title. Kevin Howells was at Old Trafford, where Somerset have been up against Lancashire.
Well, so much at stake in this penultimate round for contrasting reasons. Over at cricket's Old Trafford today, after opening up the title race last week, Somerset have been involved in a low-scoring opening day away to Lancashire, who are fighting their own relegation battle. 21 wickets fell after plenty of grass was left on the pitch at the start of play. Put into bat, Lancashire captain Keaton Jennings made a half-century. He was dropped first ball of the day, and he stood head and shoulders above the rest as the home side struggled to 140. Somerset little better, gaining only 6 runs lead on their first innings, and it was a big wicket to take late on, removing Jennings for only 4 in the second innings, closing 16 for 1 Lancashire. That's a lead of just 10 runs. Elsewhere, title leaders Surrey up against a weakened, inexperienced Durham attack of the Oval, closed at 52 for no wicket. They seem well placed after Durham made 262, whilst again at the bottom, Nottinghamshire, currently safe but third from bottom, can thank the opener Ben Slater, scoring 160 in 393 for 6 away to bottom club Kent. More intrigue, possibly more runs than wickets on day 2, over on Sports Extra tomorrow from 10:25.
The Scottish Government is backing plans for Glasgow to host the Commonwealth Games in 2026, and it would be scaled down from when they last hosted it in 2014. They've been given the opportunity after the Australian state of Victoria pulled out over rising costs. In rugby union, Simon Easterby will be Ireland's interim coach in 2025. Andy Farrell is in charge of the British and Irish Lions at that time. And Emma Raducanu is into round 2 of the Korea Open after beating American Peyton Stearns in straight sets. A new episode of the Women's Football Weekly is now available on BBC Sounds. This week, big WSL preview pod ahead of the start of the new season. Manchester City's Vivian Miedema is one of the guests as she prepares to line up against her former club Arsenal on Sunday.
I think for me, football has obviously always been really, really important, but I've only made football decisions based off two things, and that's my happiness off the pitch and on the pitch. When I spoke to Gareth last year, I knew the football was going to be fine. And I think if you put one and one together, me still living in the UK, London is 2 hours away, it was just kind of the perfect step in between. And yeah, so far, as I've said, like, I've really settled in on the pitch. I'm starting to get to know the girls off the pitch as well, so that's going to be better for me. But yeah, it was just a 1+1 that kind of made this a very easy decision in the end.
You've got quite interesting games to kind of kick you off, as if you needed any pressure on that. Talk us through your start then.
Obviously, as you say, like, ideally we would have had an easier start than what we're going to get, but I think we want to play in all competitions, so focus needs to be on Champions League as well as the Arsenal game in between. I think the one good thing about the games coming up is that Arsenal are in the exact same position as we are. They've got 2 massive Champions League games as well, and it's tough in the beginning of the season because everyone is just starting to pick up minutes and get fitness in, and you need to be there straight away. Obviously, we played Paris FC with Arsenal last year, so I know that they're definitely not a team to underestimate, and we need to be at our best.
You can hear more from Viv Miedema on the Women's Football Weekly, available now on BBC Sounds. There's been a goal at Preston. Betty Glover.
Fulham have got their equaliser. It was coming, Kelly. Ryan Sessegnon cutting back with a cross that Reece Nelson gets on the end of and taps it in. A goal on his first start for the club. It's Preston 1, Fulham 1.
And we'll have regular updates from the EFL Cup throughout the evening here on 5 Live Sport, right through till 10:30 for all the reaction to those games as well. But our commentary match here on 5 Live Sport is from the San Siro, and you can listen to us tonight alongside the Champions League final score graphics and the video printer. All you have to do to access that is to press the red button or go to the BBC iPlayer or the BBC Sport app and click on Champions League final score. If you want to hear Manchester United against Barnsley in the League Cup, that's on 5 Sports Extra and BBC Sounds. Now though, we can head back to the San Siro for second half commentary of AC Milan against Liverpool with Stephen Warnock and Ian Dennis.
Well, I've got to say your timing is impeccable, Lady Kelly, as Virgil van Dijk leads out Liverpool from the tunnel down below in their change strip, the all black, and doesn't appear to be any changes made by Arne Slot. Why should there be, after they dominated that first half?
Welcome back to Old Trafford for the second half between Manchester United and Barnsley. The home side leading by 3-0. We are back underway. Barnsley have made a trio of changes at the break. On comes Matthew Craig, Conor McCarthy and Stephen Humphreys. Mark Roberts, Fabio Jallo and Vimal Yoganathan, the 3 to depart, and Paul Robinson alongside me. This second half has started much the way the first ended. Manchester United looking sharp.
Yeah, they started off very sharp, Manchester United. Barnsley were just looking to see how they settle, how they look in shape actually. When they're in possession, they've gone to a back 4. Out of possession, Potter drops in.
Beautiful pass from Eriksson, releases Garnacho, one-on-one with the goalkeeper. He slots it perfectly past Slanina. That was a beautiful break from Manchester United. Clinical one pass from Eriksson to release Garnacho. He showed composure this time. He showed a confidence to just slot it past Slanina. Manchester United 4, Barnsley 0. 2 for that man Garnacho.
Well, whatever Barnsley manager Daryl Clark said at half-time, forget it, that's it, done, game over. The Barnsley manager has been in there for 15-20 minutes trying to sort his team out. He's made 3 changes. They've come out, and within 4 minutes of the second half they've been exposed. Turnover of possession in the middle of midfield, really simple interchange between Rashford and Eriksson, one long ball through. Garnacho's completely unmarked. He's got half of the length of the pitch, the freedom of Old Trafford to run in on Slanina. One-on-one, goalkeeper stands rooted. Garnacho looks up once, slots it round him. 4-0 Manchester United before the 50th minute. That is game over. It's going to be a long 40 minutes now for Barnsley.
It is indeed. They took off Mark Roberts, one of their central defenders, and there seemed to just be a sea there for Garnacho to drive into, and he showed a real composure. He had an opportunity in the first half, Paul, and we thought he was going to shoot. He tried to find Eriksson. It didn't work, and you wondered if, or I wondered if that was maybe a little confidence thing for him, but he looked confident and composed there. Substitute Stephen Humphreys now on the charge for Barnsley. He goes down under the pressure from Collier, but referee says no, free kick. United try to get it clear. Humphreys gets his head on it, but it goes out, and it will be a Manchester United goal kick. But yeah, that was composure from Garnacho.
Really well taken by Garnacho. There's a saying we say as goalkeepers, you try and give the striker as much time and as much time to think as you possibly can, but strikers don't like time. The majority react on instinct. Garnacho there had the freedom of Old Trafford. He ran almost one-on-one, unchallenged from the halfway line. He knew exactly what he was going to do. Just as he went to strike the ball, opened his body up, tucked it around the goalkeeper, who was rooted to the spot. Goalkeeper had no chance. Garnacho was fantastic composure, great finish, but it was a really good ball by Christian Eriksen. Put him through one-on-one with the goalkeeper, and you would say, you know, oh, what Barnsley manager's done at half-time, the 3 changes, within 3 minutes it's done.
Yeah, they've gone to a back 4, Barnsley, in this second half, and they've paid the price there with Garnacho just racing through. That's 3 goals in 2 games now for the Argentinian. United on the move again. It's Dalot. He's wrestling with Connell, and it will be a free kick for Manchester United. The Barnsley captain just being a little bit too over-eager to try and win the ball back there, and it's a free kick around about 30 yards or so out for Manchester United. Rashford and Eriksen standing over it. An opportunity then for United to heap more misery on their League One visitors this evening. It's been a tough night for Barnsley so far.
Looks like he's going to shoot here, you know. This is a long, long way out, but Marcus Rashford's the only one stood over the ball. He's put it down with purpose.
He has indeed, and he's taken a few back steps. He's now standing with his hands just down by his sides, and he runs towards the ball, and he does indeed shoot, and it's dipping all over the place, and it's pushed clear by Slonina. That was a really good effort. The danger's not clear. Garnacho feeds it in, headed out, but onto the edge of the box. There's Casemiro, puts it out wide to Dalot, puts it back into the box, but that one is into the arms of Slonina, and that was an incredible hit from Rashford as Garnacho does the defensive work to try and stop Cotter in his tracks as he looks for a break, but he gets back on the ball and he's trying to find Waters up there, and he just can't quite get on the end of that looping ball under the pressure of Ugarte. Does well, and goalkeeper Bayendier able to pluck it out of the air. That's better from Barnsley, trying to go direct and put some pressure on Manchester United, but they really are playing for pride a little bit now. Manchester United 4, Barnsley 0, 52 minutes on the clock, and you would say it very much is the next round of the League Cup for Manchester United. But they will want to put on a performance for what is quite a noisy Old Trafford this evening. They're enjoying what they're seeing. It's a game that's not really had a huge amount of pressure on them, other than maybe the first 10-15 minutes where Barnsley started really well, but United have looked really comfortable and they look like they're enjoying it, and certainly the supporters inside Old Trafford are enjoying this performance this evening.
Yeah, they are. It's, as you say, it's a much changed Manchester United, but Old Trafford, Manchester United and Manchester United fans, yeah, they're at home against Barnsley in the League Cup while they're watching Liverpool play in the Champions League. They're watching Manchester City play in the Champions League. This is where this Manchester United team want to be. Although this is a good performance, they're playing well. They're playing against the League One side at home in the League Cup, when their rivals and who they want to be, where they want to be playing, is the Champions League.
Absolutely, they will perhaps not want to think about that tonight and just enjoy the 4 goals, but it is very true. This is not the round of the League Cup they wanted to be entering at, but they're here, and they are getting the job done this evening as Connell sprays it wide over onto the left hand side. O'Keefe staring down Dalot, cuts back inside and drops it back to his captain Connell, who gets it back in the centre circle, and that's back with Slonina, the on loan Chelsea goalkeeper, who sprays it out to this right hand side. Cotter, who was a real handful in that first half, certainly early on. It's recycled back in the midfield again with Connell.
It's good of Chelsea to loan them a goalkeeper, isn't it? It's not like they've got many.
Indeed it is his 3rd loan, Slonina, since he arrived at Chelsea from Chicago Fire a couple of years ago. Eriksen finds Rashford, looks for the first time pass into Anthony, doesn't quite come off, but Anthony tracking back to try and win that ball back, but instead he actually just gives away the free kick as he takes down Digavigny in the centre circle. But there is going to be another change for Barnsley, and it comes in the forward area. Sam Cosgrove coming on, and he will replace Max Waters up in that forward area.
Yeah, I think that's just a like-for-like substitution. Waters will be looking for his opportunity at the weekend, and I think that's one thing that the manager will have one eye on. Darrell Clarke now. He knows that his race is run here at Old Trafford. They didn't come here with much hope, no expectation. They just wanted a performance, and I think now he's got to turn his attentions to League One and getting his team promotion out of League One after a decent start to the season.
Sam Cosgrove had a very lucrative season in Aberdeen a few years ago. 23 goals in 38 appearances. It is his best season to date. He's not quite hit the ground running for Barnsley since making the move from Birmingham, but he does have a goal this season. He is on up front to try and see if he can make a mark in this game, as Cotter wins the ball off Collier, but out it goes, and it will be a goal kick for Manchester United. Battling hard, Barnsley, but ultimately coming to nothing.
Well, that's what they've got to do now, Barnsley. It's about coming away from Old Trafford with credibility, with some kind of performance, and it's about each individual putting in a performance where the manager can look and he say, look, my team gave me my all. We went to Old Trafford, we came up against a better team, we were inferior to Manchester United, but I can take these positives, and that's something that's going to be really, really important for him tonight. The worst thing that can happen for Barnsley now is to get resoundingly beaten. I mean, listen, I know 4's a good beat in itself.
As Anthony bears down on the long ball from O'Keefe, and it looked like he was going to win it, but O'Keefe does really, really well. But that is Garnacho into Rashford, goal number 5. Absolutely clinical from Manchester United. Anthony lost out on the ball, it was recycled, and then it was just one touch passing. Garnacho to Rashford, goal number 5, number 2 on the night for that man Rashford. He's been sensational this evening. That
link up again between Garnacho and Rashford, but you see what it means to Manchester United. They look like a squad that are together, all celebrating this bottom left hand corner with the substitutions. The substitutes spilled onto the pitch, they're all together there, the 10 outfield players celebrating goal number 5, which you would expect to be a routine goal. They seem a team, and the team that are together, they're not afraid of putting in hard work tonight. 5th goal for Manchester United. Barnsley lose out on possession. Garnacho puts Rashford through. Simplest of tasks, one-on-one with the goalkeeper again. Tucks it away. 5-0 Manchester United. It really is a case now of how many do you want, Manchester United? Absolutely, and just watching the replay back, the long ball really direct and asking Anthony to run. It actually looks like O'Keefe used his hand to play the ball away. It wasn't spotted by the officials, and then it was the ball recycled, fell back to Garnacho, and he just released Rashford, who just slid it into the back of the net. But I think O'Keefe might have got away with one there. He certainly did. I think with VAR there would have been a case for handball, but the play would have been allowed to carry on and the ball didn't go out, so the Rashford goal would have stood. Listen, Manchester United are scoring at will at the moment. They're far superior to this Barnsley side, who do look a little bit jagged, and they can be opened up at will. Well, Rashford loves this League Cup competition. That is his 16th goal, which is the most of any player since Rashford made his debut in this competition, as Manchester United look to make another change. And this is not what Barnsley are going to want to see. Just down below us we have Fernandes, we have Xerxes, and we have Zemdouri, all beginning to get themselves ready. Mazraoui, sorry, all beginning to get themselves ready to come on to the pitch. Well, you made that point, didn't you? I said about Erik ten Hag potentially making changes at half-time, and then you actually pointed out the strength of the bench, to which he's now got in front of us Mazraoui, Fernandes and Xerxes all ready to come onto the pitch. So just when Barnsley thought it couldn't get any worse, they've now got a lot more quality coming onto the pitch. They do indeed, but they do have a free kick. This one's pretty far out, about 35 yards out or so, but central, and it is Luca Connell, the captain, is one of them standing over it. Stephen Humphreys, who can certainly hit them from this distance. He actually scored a goal from inside his own half whilst he was at Hearts, and it is him that takes it, but it smashes it straight into the Manchester United wall. United trying to clear it. Eriksson gets on the end of it, turns it beautifully and plays another lovely pass right through the Barnsley defence, and Garnacho once again rushing onto it. He has company from Cotter. He looks to try and feed Rashford, but it was just a little bit too close to Slonina
Cotter did well, kind of cut down the angle from Garnacho. He couldn't get that ball through to Rashford as perfectly as he would have liked to, and Slonina was able to get out and smother it before Manchester United could do any more damage. But those changes for United are imminent as Collier wins the ball back. Good tackle against Cotter. Cuts inside trying to find a pass. Barnsley win it back though. Humphreys lays it off to Cosgrove, but there again is Ugarte hustling away in the centre of the pitch, winning the ball back and finding a good pass inside under pressure to Eriksson. Evans finds Dalot, and Dalot moves forward over the halfway line out onto the right hand side. Anthony, who's looked lively since the early stages of this game. Garnacho spins it out to Dalot. Dalot back again to Anthony, just on the edge of the box. He pops it back to Dalot. Dalot thought about putting it in, but instead he drops it back. Casemiro now, a lovely little flick inside towards Anthony, but that's well read in the end by the Barnsley defence, who get the ball out now to Phillips. Inside to Connell. Drops it back to defence. Barnsley trying to get their foot on the ball, and because this Manchester United performance is now beginning to get a little bit too much for them to handle.
Well, they're going to have to be careful, Barnsley, because they're still committing bodies forward and they're getting picked open at will every time Manchester United get the ball, even on the turnover possession. One ball and they're through in behind this Barnsley defence. It could become embarrassing unless they're careful. I mean, I know it's now 5-0, but they don't need to go chasing the game and lose 7, 8, 9. They need to keep tight and put in some kind of performance between now and the end of the game.
Ironic cheers from the travelling Barnsley support when the passes go towards each other, but this will be the changes. First of all is a change. Ugarte will make way, his first start. Not Casemiro, he was coming over for some instructions. It is Rashford who's also going to make way for Manchester United. Xerxes will replace him up top. And the other change sees Dalot replaced by Mazraoui. So Collier remains on the pitch. Be interesting to see if he takes the left back position. There's also a change as well for Barnsley. Lofthouse coming on in the place of Barry Cotter, who's had a really strong game for Barnsley. It looks like he's perhaps run himself into a slight injury, limping a little as he comes off the pitch to be replaced by Lofthouse. So Fernandez on, Mazraoui on, and Xerxes on for Manchester United, and good luck Barnsley.
Tell you what, he's some size, Xerxes, isn't he? I mean, this is the first time I've seen him live in a Manchester United shirt, but he's a really big unit up there. Comes on and goes straight into that number 9 position where Marcus Rashford was, with Fernandez in behind him. Real presence on the pitch.
He is, and he's already got his Manchester United goal scoring tally underway in the opening game, as Garnacho tries to stop that going out for a goal kick. Does well, plays it back into Eriksson. Garnacho again, the left hand side of the penalty box, drops it back to Casemiro, who's got options to his right. He finds Mazraoui, the full back, drops it wide to Anthony, who cuts inside, edge of the box, goes for the strike, and that is a beautiful effort, tipped over the bar by Slonina. Really good from Anthony, cutting in from the right onto his left foot, and a dipping effort that had to be tipped over the top of the crossbar.
This looks like a Manchester United side that have got a point to prove. Normally 64 minutes into a game, you're 5-0 up, the game's done, the game's finished. You keep in possession, you're recycling the ball, and you're just frustrating the opponents. This Manchester United side, it looks a case of we want more, we want to score as many as we possibly can. They want to go out there tonight, put a scoreline down, lay a marker down. They're looking like they really want to prove a point, which is bad news for Barnsley.
It is indeed. Eriksson's corner is short out to Casemiro, who dinks it in, and that's looking for the head of Harry Maguire, but it is I thought it was a Barnsley head that got on it first. It must have been Maguire because it is a goal kick, but another well worked corner from Manchester United. Casemiro just trying to pick out Harry Maguire at the back post.
Again, at this stage of the game, you would expect maybe a short corner, a rotation of possession through the midfield, back into defence, and just keeping possession and seeing the game out. But not this Manchester United. I mean, Barnsley are now trying to take a short goal kick. United are pressing with Xerxes, Garnacho, Fernandez, and they've won the ball back already. They look hungry.
They really do, and the substitutions all look hungry as well. Xerxes with his first effort of the evening, that's blocked, but it falls to Garnacho, who spins onto his left foot, plays it back along the penalty box. It couldn't quite fall to Fernandes, who was lurking, but out it comes to Eriksson on this left-hand touchline. Inside to Casemiro. Casemiro finds Mazraoui, who's been so impressive since his arrival from Bayern Munich in the summer. He's already a bit of a favourite round Old Trafford. That's a loose one though from Casemiro, and Barnsley will get a bit of a reprieve.
A little bit of a reprieve, and they're gonna need every reprieve they can get between now and the final whistle, and that final whistle can't come quick enough for these Barnsley players. Believe me, I've been on that Old Trafford pitch. I've been 7 down, and I looked up at the scoreboard and there was 20 minutes left, and I think that's probably one of the longest 20 minutes of my life. It was absolutely horrendous, and it was against the Manchester United side. Dimitar Berbatov had already scored 5 against me, and they were looking hungry and wanting more, and this is a little bit reminiscent of that. I'm not having nightmares, by the way. This is just a little bit reminiscent.
I feel like
of
we're
that.
in a therapy session at the moment.
They do. I know exactly where Barnsley are at the moment, and it's a very lonely place to be when United are in this type of mood.
Well, they've got 25 minutes left, Barnsley, in this one. They're already 5-0 down, but another loose pass from Casemiro goes out and allows Barnsley a chance to get a little breather and take their time over this throw-in. But when we look at Manchester United, and it is a very changed Manchester United team, and you've made the point that they are playing a League One outfit, and we don't want to disrespect Barnsley, but they are a couple of leagues below United. They needed a result tonight, no doubt, and a performance that went with it. They have had that tonight, but does it really alleviate many of the pressures? How important has this performance been for United and for Ten Hag in particular this evening?
I think it was a must.
An opportunity for Barnsley. Stephen Humphreys couldn't quite get the ball to sit. Connell's got it on the edge of the penalty box. They're trying to recycle it back in, and that's a trip. Is it from Xerxes? No, referee says play on, and Casemiro under pressure. Fernandes trying to win the ball back, but instead it is Lofthouse on this right hand side, the substitute, moving forward, edge of the box. In it comes from Phillips. Too much on it for Cosgrove though, and it will actually go out for a Manchester United throw-in on the far side.
So picking up off your question, I think from a Manchester United point of view tonight, they were in a no-win situation really. It was pretty much win and you're expected to, draw or lose and you're in for criticism or struggle with a performance. Anything less than a convincing win tonight, Manchester United wouldn't have come out with this with any credit. But the changes that Ten Hag made, 8 before kick-off from the team that won at Southampton, they can do no more than they've done tonight. They've played extremely well. They've played with confidence. They've scored 5 at this point. They're potentially going to go on and score more, and they've looked dominating as you would expect a Manchester United side to do so against the League One outfit at home.
Harry Maguire driving out of defence, plays it to the right side to Fernandes. He's continued his run, Maguire, but Garnacho gets on the end of it. Into the box now with Anthony into Fernandes. He pulls it back. There's Garnacho, and how has he missed it? I thought that was for sure to be number 6. He's right in front of the goal. It falls to him. He tries to get his foot on the end of it. He does, but it just somehow goes over the top of the crossbar. He just got that wrong, didn't he, Garnacho? On a hat-trick as well.
7 yards out, the ball's pulled back to him. Pops up nicely just in front of him on the half volley. Strikes it up and over the bar. That's probably the easiest chance of the evening. All started by Garnacho, lays it out to the right hand side. Little interchange with Anthony and Fernandes. Fernandes puts it across. He is dead centre of the goal, 7 yards out. The ball sits up nicely for him and he lashes it over the crossbar. Easiest chance of the night. Garnacho should have had his hat-trick.
He should indeed. He had a couple of chances in the first half as well. He actually probably had time to take a touch there and settle himself. He was in so much space, but Barnsley survived that particular scare. They haven't survived all of them. They are 5 goals behind here. Manchester United leading this one 5-0. 68 minutes on the clock, but Barnsley, to be fair to them, they are still trying to cause United problems. Stephen Humphreys twisting and turning, manages to get the ball back to McCarthy. Plays it inside to Connell. Connell with an effort, and that has hit the side netting. I think Bindier had it covered. There was a slight ripple of hope from the Barnsley support that was hitting the back of the net, but it was into the side netting, and I think it was well covered by the goalkeeper.
Well, it was a decent strike by Connell on his left foot, and those Barnsley fans away to our right in the corner of Old Trafford where the away fans are housed, it hit the side netting away from them, so they thought when the net rippled it was a goal. So there's a glimmer of hope for a second that they got on the score sheet, but no, it just went wide and flew into the side netting. Decent strike.
Manchester United back on the ball with Casemiro in the centre circle. He finds Anthony. Mazraoui looking for Fernandes, but it's won back by Craig, the substitute. It's now with Lofthouse on this right hand side, under pressure from Collier, and he plays it back. Garnacho trying to get in there, but it is cleared by Dugavigny. Up to Xerxes though, who gets it back to Garnacho on this left hand side, level with the penalty box. Collier in support, inside to Eriksson, inside to Fernandes. Fernandes drops it back to Casemiro. Cries of shoot, he doesn't, he plays it into Anthony, who does shoot, but it's blocked, and it comes out as far as Casemiro. Eriksson inside to Fernandes, who tries to just lay it into the path of Xerxes, but again well defended by Barnsley, who clear it anywhere long down to the Manchester United goalkeeper Bayendier. It's got that feel for it now for Barnsley, doesn't it? Just when you get your foot on it, get it clear.
Yeah, they just need to damage limitation now, because like what I said before, we said at half time and wondered how the second half would pan out, and if Manchester United would just kill the game off through keeping possession and running the clock down, and we have a few quiet spells in the second half. But actually it's been the complete opposite. Manchester United have been pressing, as they are doing now, looking for more goals. They're not content with just 5, they want more.
There is a real hunger to Manchester United this evening. Fernandes into the path of Casemiro, but he lets it go for Anthony, who tries to play it back to the Brazilian, goes down under pressure, cries for a penalty from the Old Trafford crowd. The referee though waves it away, and Barnsley now go on the attack with Connell, who plays it out to the right hand side for Humphreys, driving into the penalty box. Good feet as he tries to go past Collier. He goes down, but the referee, and I think rightly without seeing it again, my first instinct was that was a dive, and Humphreys is booked.
Right in front of us there, and I think the referee does get that one right. He runs at Toby Collier on the edge of the Manchester United box. We're just seeing the replay on our monitors now, and he kind of goes past him, cuts inside, and he leaves his right leg out to try and instigate contact on Collier. There's a slight bit of contact, but I think it's the Barnsley player who kicks the Manchester United player, and he gets booked for his challenge. But now we're looking at the replay at the other end, Casemiro penalty, and at the other end as well, I'm looking at this, Anthony puts Casemiro through, he gets the wrong side of Josh Earl, and Casemiro, that's more of a dive than what the Barnsley player's just been booked for. That was awful.
Stephen Humphreys didn't actually make it into the box though before going down, so he wouldn't have got the penalty anyway. Fernandes on the edge of the box drops it back to Casemiro. United looking for a 6th here this evening. 5-0 they lead, 72 minutes on the clock. Bayendier playing sweeper, dinks it out to the right hand side to Anthony, who keeps it in well, but he loses out and the ball breaks to Humphreys. Cuts inside, drops it back to Earl, to Craig just on the halfway line, plays it back to Dugavigny. Out on the right hand side he's got Lofthouse, back to his goalkeeper. Barnsley trying to nullify the Manchester United intensity and zip that they've been playing with in this second half. A real positive performance from Manchester United this evening. Connell to Craig, who does well to skip away from Fernandes, driving towards the halfway line, trying to get Barnsley up the pitch. Connell in the centre circle, gathers it. Manchester United happy, I think, to let Barnsley have the ball a little at the moment, just waiting for their moment to pick it up and try and pounce again. Yes,
Barnsley enjoying a rare spell in possession. Manchester United chasing down, hunting as hungry as they've been all half. Barnsley in possession for a little while, and pretending that they've scored a goal by all accounts from their fans, from their supporters. They're determined to enjoy themselves anyway.
They are indeed. It is a very lively Barnsley travelling support. Around 6,500 of them have made the journey here to Old Trafford, and they're certainly enjoying their evening, that's for sure. Their spirits haven't been dampened at all by the fact that they've conceded 5 here this evening and still have a good 15 minutes plus to play this evening, as Mazraoui does well to skip past a couple of tackles, find Anthony, who's in the penalty box. He takes a shot, saved by the goalkeeper, but not perhaps as convincingly as it should have been, and it breaks kindly to Connell, who's able to get the ball clear up to Humphreys, who's trying to twist and turn his way past Harry Maguire, but the England internationals, having none of that, wins it back well.
Well, they're having a go, Barnsley, aren't they? The game's getting really, really stretched. There's no compactness involved. I mean, the defence and attack of Barnsley, they're almost a three-quarter length pitch apart, but if they are to score, the roof in the corner of this stadium will come off. I mean, 2 minutes ago, the Barnsley supporters decided they'd pretend that they'd scored a goal, and they've not been quiet since. So if they do score a goal tonight, it'll certainly add to the atmosphere.
Yeah, I actually might want that to happen, just to hear them.
Well, they deserve one, don't they? The fans deserve one. The team may not, but the fans certainly do.
They definitely do. Collier on the left-hand side, United looking for more. Garnacho, he's already had 2 of them. On a hat-trick, the Argentinian, he finds Casemiro, pops it inside to Eriksen. Eriksen driving towards goal, cuts back. He's got support from Fernandes and Mazraoui to Xerxes. Fernandes, who plays a lovely pass into Mazraoui, just didn't quite fall and settle for him. He tried to get it on his left foot, but the touch was heavy. It was bundled away by the Barnsley defence, and now Lofthouse trying to get away from Casemiro, which he's unable to do, and Casemiro wins a throw-in on this left-hand touchline as Matthias de Ligt prepares to come on for United. Eriksen to Collier on the halfway line to Evans. A lot of players getting minutes in their legs tonight, Paul, for Manchester United, and what is a really, really busy spell coming up. How important for Garnacho to have got a couple of goals tonight, the performance he's had, and then on the other side Anthony, who's coming for a little bit of criticism from the manager in terms of his attitude really so far this season. 1 minute of football ahead of this evening, he's now come on and he's played a part tonight.
Yeah, Garnacho's really stood up and been counted tonight. He's the one player out there who you look and you go, yeah, he deserves to start in a Manchester United shirt. Anthony's coming, he's done pretty much what you would expect. He's very, very one-sided, very dominant on his left foot. Had a couple of spells in the first half, been very quiet in this second half. Won the penalty for Manchester United, stood up and confidently took the penalty, but he's offered nothing tonight against a League One opponent that would make me say, right, I'm going to play him in the Premier League on Saturday.
Matthias de Ligt comes on then for Johnny Evans. Central defender, scored his first Manchester United goal on Saturday. His 5th appearance for the club since joining from Bayern in the summer.
Yeah, you were saying about Manchester United, they've got a busy period coming up, haven't they? You look at the games they've got in the Premier League and in the Europa League as well. It's a busy time for them. They've got at home to FC 20, then they've got a trip to Porto, away at Fenerbahce. They've got a very, very busy schedule ahead of them, and it's an important time, and it's an important time for Erik ten Hag to have players like fringe players like they are tonight, the ones that have come in, the 8 changes he made. He'll take a lot of confidence from what they've shown tonight, because quite often players who do get given the opportunity don't take it, but those in a red shirt tonight certainly have done that. Garnacho's been outstanding.
Yeah, and you look at their fixtures as well. Palace, FC 20, like you said, Spurs at home, Porto away, Villa away. That's all before the international break. There's an expectation from the supporters, certainly as Xerxes lets one fly, but that goes over the top of the crossbar. An expectation from supporters that those are games that they should be picking up points in, and that adds a certain pressure as well.
Well, I think as soon as you pull on a Manchester United shirt, there is that expectation. Every time you go onto a pitch, you're expected to pick up points. The minimum requirement is maximum effort in any shirt that you pull on, but when you pull on a Manchester United shirt, the expectation is to win. You look at the history and the DNA of this club, the titles, the trophies that they've won, and they've fallen short in recent times, and Erik ten Hag certainly learnt of the expectation and the pressure that goes with that. A performance like tonight, although it's against the League One side, confidence, it will breed confidence. It's expected and it's what they should be doing, but a fragile Manchester United side may not have put in a performance or got a result like this. So listen, they've done what they can tonight. That's what I'm saying. Erik ten Hag's got everything that he's asked of his players, and not necessarily players that would start in the Premier League.
Well, it's all finished in the League Cup third round match at Everton. It is 1 apiece, Everton and Southampton. That one, a really interesting one. Straight to penalties in the League Cup, so that one will go to penalties. Stoke against Fleetwood Town is already in penalties, and Stoke are winning that 2-0 at the moment. Sheffield Wednesday 1-0 up against Blackpool. That is approaching an end, as is Brentford against Leyton Orient, the Premier League side 3-1 up in that one. There may well be penalties though at Deepdale. Preston 1, Fulham 1 there as they approach the full-time whistle, and Crystal Palace are leading QPR by 2-1. That's elsewhere in the League Cup third round. Manchester United winning here 5-0 as Fernandes plays the ball across the 6-yard box for Christian Eriksen to add number 6. It has been an absolute rout for Manchester United. One pass from Garnacho to Fernandes, he rolls it along the 6-yard box, and there was Eriksen to just tap that one in. Barnsley's defence posted missing, and that is a brilliant goal for Christian Eriksen to add to his tally in a Manchester United shirt. A 5th for the club in just his second start of the season.
It's all too easy, as we've said, for Manchester United now. It was Christian Eriksen who actually got the turnover possession, won the ball back inside his own half, played it out to the left-hand side to Garnacho, who in turn found Bruno Fernandes, who whips the ball across the 6-yard box. And it's Christian Eriksen who's followed up his run. He's run half the length of the pitch, got himself on the edge of the 6-yard box, opens the right foot up, quite comfortably places it with his side foot into the back of the net. 6-0 Manchester United, and this game's been over for a long time now. It's been a training exercise for Manchester United, but you've got to give them credit. They haven't just stopped, they've kept going, they've wanted more goals, and there's the hunger and desire to get the 6th.
That's Christian Eriksen's first goal since he scored at Euro 24, that really emotional goal that he scored for Denmark against Slovenia in the 1-1 draw. That is him back on the score sheet, his first of the season for Manchester United, and they go looking for more. Fernandes, he loops it into the box. Xerxes under pressure from the goalkeeper. It was a little bit unorthodox there from Slonina, but he gets it clear as far as Casemiro. But again, Barnsley managed to clear. This time they do win a free kick. It was an interesting punch that from Slonina.
It was slightly unorthodox, like you quite rightly say. A punch at waist height on the edge of his box. I think he might have misjudged that one, the goalkeeper.
It was a strange cross as well from Fernandes, high into the night sky, and it was dropping. Xerxes was in the way, but Slonina was able to get a touch on it, which did clear it as Craig spreads it out wide to McCarthy, to Lofthouse on this right hand side, looking for Humphreys, but Maguire reads it, steps in, and Manchester United have the ball back as well as they prepare to make another change. Amad Diallo stands and waits, hops from one foot to the other to prepare to come on for what is the final 8 minutes of this League Cup tie. Manchester United 6, Barnsley 0. It has been incredibly comfortable for the Premier League side, despite a good start from Barnsley for the first 10 minutes or so, but United took control with that early Rashford goal, and they have never looked back. Xerxes battling in the corner, but it does go out for a goal kick as Diallo comes on to replace Garnacho. 2 goals tonight from Alejandro Garnacho, a couple of assists as well. It's been a really strong performance from him, hasn't it, Paul?
Yeah, he's looked really sharp tonight, really sharp. Look, very direct, forward thinking, and his pace has been a thorn in Barnsley's side the whole night. He looks back to his best.
Yeah, really strong performance from Garnacho, but off he goes to huge cheers here around Old Trafford. A hug on the touchline for Amad Diallo, who comes on, who's been another impressive performer for Manchester United this season. Amad, 5 appearances, 4 starts. This is 6th appearance of the season, and he will slot into that left-sided position vacated by Garnacho. Barnsley playing out from the back. Connell finds Earl on the left-hand side into O'Keefe, who's under pressure, and it's well won by Anthony. In now to Fernandes, beautiful back heel flick to Xerxes on the edge of the box. It's fallen to Eriksen, and that is Christian Eriksen at the double. That was sensational interplay from Manchester United on the edge of the box. Fernandes to Xerxes to Fernandes to Eriksen, first time hit, bottom corner, beautiful stuff. Manchester United 7, Barnsley 0.
Yeah, he's emphatic by Manchester United now. It's becoming embarrassing for Barnsley. They're getting cut open at will. It's the quality of Manchester United, the interchange that they've got. in and around the box. It just comes to Christian Eriksen at the edge of the box. So simple for him, just casually curls it into the bottom right-hand corner. The 7th for Manchester United, and an emphatic win. It was Xerxes, it was Fernandes, the combination play. Again, Barnsley lose possession in their own half. Anthony keeps it in play. Ball's laid into the box to Fernandes. One touch round the corner to Xerxes. A 1-2 into Christian Eriksen. Nothing the goalkeeper can do. Really good finish by Christian Eriksen. Manchester United in full flow, full of confidence. Can they get any more?
I wouldn't put it past them. They've still got 5 minutes plus any added time this evening, and it's been a wonderful performance. It's been fantastic to watch Manchester United in full flow, but it sounds harsh, but it's easy to do it when it's going well. It's how you then react when things don't go so well. They had a really good result on Saturday. They've had an emphatic result here tonight. Whether it ends 7 or becomes more, it's been emphatic, but you now look to the next game. With they're put under pressure, how do they react?
There's nothing more they could do tonight. I mean, if there was a poor performance, or they were unthinkably were to lose this game, then the pressure and the question marks would continue. They needed to win this game tonight and win it well, especially with the team that Erik ten Hag's put out, the changes that he's made, the substitutions. They've done all you could ask of them tonight, Manchester United. It's been an excellent performance. Individuals have performed, the team has performed. At the moment they've got a clean sheet, which looks like staying intact. They've scored 7 goals and they could have had more.
They certainly could have had more, and they may well have more before this one is over, but at the moment just the 7 for Manchester United this evening. It has been so comfortable as Preston and Fulham go into penalties in this third round of the League Cup. A few other matches happening around.
I don't think we're going to penalties, do you? I think we might be safe.
I think it would be some sort of record if we somehow went to penalties. I mean, Barnsley have actually already played Manchester United this season in the EFL Trophy. The under-21 Manchester United team were 2-0 down with 9 minutes left and came back to beat to beat Barnsley by 3-2. So, Barnsley, they've been Manchester United have shown them that there can be a comeback, but I don't think Barnsley are going to replicate United's under-21s tonight.
I think it would be some kind of record for any away team to score 7 at Old Trafford, never mind in the 3.5 minutes that we've got remaining.
No, I think the question will be whether Manchester United add to their tally, as a lovely ball out to the left-hand side finds Diallo, who's coming into the box, cuts it back on the byline. He's got support from Collier on the edge of the box. Fernandes now central, plays the 1-2 with Anthony, gets it back. Anthony takes a shot, but he slips and it's weak, and it's well cleared by O'Keefe, trying to find Cosgrove, but he can't get onto it, and it's won back by De Ligt. Casemiro heads it back to Maguire, and Manchester United have possession once again, and they just look like they can score and break through that Barnsley defence at will, particularly when they start playing that little one-touch passing.
Well, the Barnsley players and manager will be hoping that when that injury time board goes up, if it goes up at all, it's got a number 1 or a number 2 on it. They just want to get off this pitch and get back to Barnsley as quick as possible.
They do indeed. Their focus will be very much on League One and trying to get themselves back up, certainly into the playoffs, if not better, and get themselves back up into the Championship. It has been a difficult night for them here at Old Trafford. Manchester United showing their dominance, showing their class, and showing that clinical edge as Fernandes skips clear and plays a beautiful ball over the top towards Xerxes, but it just evades the Dutch forward. This is cleared only as far as Diallo, though, who finds Fernandes, lays it into the path of Anthony, and again he takes a weak effort and it's straight at Slonina, but a couple of efforts for Anthony in the last few minutes, and it really could have been more tonight.
Weak shot by Anthony again. It just shows how dominant he is on his left foot. Fernandes rolls it into him. He's got to let it run across his body, take it on his right foot and then hit, but because he's so dominant on his left foot, he tries to take it with the outside of his left foot, which then leaves him stretching for the strike, and it's a really weak attempt on target.
Cosgrove wins the header from the goalkeeper's long kick out, but it goes straight to Bayindir in the Manchester United goal. Who's impressed you the most tonight, Paul, in that Manchester United team? Because there have been some big performers.
There has. Garnacho, without a shadow of a doubt. I mean, he got his 2 goals, but should and could have had his hat-trick. Christian Eriksen's linked the play up really, really well. Marcus Rashford's looked sharp. The players that there was question marks over about starting, Casemiro's come in tonight, he's played a full game, still making runs from midfield, has looked sharp.
Fernandes playing it long once again, looking for the run of Xerxes. He had real pressure on him there, but he somehow twists and turns his body and gets the shot away. Absolutely brilliant stuff there from Xerxes to get the shot away. He had real pressure on him from Conor McCarthy, who looked like he'd cut off any angle towards goal, but Xerxes manages to get a shot in it nonetheless.
He's a big unit, isn't he, Xerxes? We spoke about that when he came on. Uses his strength and hits the shot on the turn. Decent save by the goalkeeper.
Well, there's a 3 that comes up on the board, so 3 minutes left for Barnsley to endure in what has been a real tough night for them, as Manchester United have hit them for 7. We've just hit the 90-minute mark here, and that's a lovely little piece of interchange from Fernandes, and Mazraoui looks to try and find Diallo, but there's a boot goes in and Diallo can't get on the end of that one, and then gives away the free kick, and Barnsley will be able to get it clear. But again, really good stuff from Manchester United. Quick breaking right through the middle of this Barnsley defence to try and get themselves what would be an 8th goal of the evening, but it doesn't quite happen for them. But lovely from Mazraoui into Fernandes, and then the ball through. It was just a poor heavy first touch from Diallo, allows the defender to get a toe in. Barnsley again going long just anywhere, but it's straight back to United. Harry Maguire in his own penalty area will move it forward. Collier, who's been playing in that left back role this evening, in the absence of Luke Shaw and many others who played in that position. Diallo tonight playing in his more regular right back position with Mazraoui rested. So a new position for Collier this evening, and he's done quite well in there, Paul.
He has, he's played well. Well, when the team sheet came out at the start of the game, we wondered where he would play, and actually playing as a left back but an inverted midfielder. We've seen him pop up there, make the numbers up in midfield, and he's had a very good game along with many other Manchester United players tonight.
Well, a couple of League Cup third round games are in penalties at the moment, but Stoke City have won their game against Fleetwood 2-1 on penalties. Not the most clinical of penalty shootouts, that 2-1, but Stoke go through. Everton Southampton penalty kicks are still ongoing, as they are at Preston against Fulham, so we will bring you an updated score on those as we get it. And Southampton have now won the penalty shootout against Everton. They win 6-5 on penalties, so Everton's troubles this season continue. They go out of the League Cup at the hands of fellow Premier League strugglers Southampton. 6-5 on penalties, but here at Manchester United, penalties are not something that the home side will need to worry about. They are comfortably through to the next round. 7 goals their lead here at Old Trafford against League One side Barnsley. We are into the final minute, Paul, and we see Marcus Rashford sitting on the bench there. Really good night's play from him. He's got man of the match this evening.
Played well, Rashford. Looked sharp, looked quick, always a threat. Him and Garnacho just as the final whistle goes.
Yeah, that is the final whistle here. A really positive night on the pitch for Manchester United. It could have been a potential tricky one for a United team that's come under a little bit of pressure this season already, but they have shown a real professionalism, a real edge to their performance tonight, and a real clinical side in front of goal. 7 goals on the night. 2 for Rashford, 2 for Garnacho, 2 for Eriksen, and Anthony with a first half penalty. So a really good performance, something to smile about, something to build on, and some good performances too from players who may not necessarily be first starters for Manchester United when it comes to Premier League and European competitions, but have perhaps given Erik ten Hag some thought tonight.
They've done all they could tonight, Manchester United. It was going to be a potentially difficult game for him. Erik ten Hag put a strong team out, and at home against the League One side, you're expected to win, and you're expected to win well, and this side did exactly that. His team gave him everything tonight. There was top performances from Marcus Rashford, Garnacho, a goal in for Anthony, Christian Eriksen got a couple of goals as well. A really good, it wasn't a workmanlike performance by Manchester United, because they were good, they were open, they were expansive. No matter how many they got, they were always looking for more goals. They looked sharp, they pressed from the front. They did all they could and more tonight, Manchester United. Erik ten Hag will be delighted with the way that his team have played, and especially the result.
They have come under pressure, but what did you take from the way that they continued to look hungry, that they continued to fight for each other, that they didn't get comfortable when it got to 3 or 4 up? They wanted more, and they wanted this to be a real clinical performance tonight. You could see when they scored their goals, the celebrations they had, they were all together, they all looked united, and that's got to be something that is important to have, and that Erik ten Hag will need going forward.
They looked a team with a point to prove. They knew that they had to win well tonight, and that's exactly what they did. They didn't want to stop at 1 or 2 and then recycle the ball and keep possession and kill the game off. They looked like they wanted to exert their dominance, show they were a Premier League team, and lay a marker down, put out a statement, and that certainly is a statement win. 7-0, yes, okay, it's a League One side, and they were on a hide into nothing tonight, but you can't criticise them in any way, shape or form. Their attitude, the application, the dedication, the performance, the goals, the result, everything was there for Manchester United tonight.
It was always going to be tough for Barnsley to come here as they stand down below us and applaud a really, really good travelling support. A good 6,500 of them have made the journey here. They've been loud, they've been boisterous, they've not let the defeat and the manner of the defeat and the size of the defeat dampen their spirits in any way. They're applauding their team out there. It was always going to be difficult ask for Darrell Clarke to come here and to get something from this game, but what do you think he will take from this in terms of trying to push for promotion, trying to push a bit to get into the Championship, and use this experience to try and ensure that they could take positives from this stage that they were on tonight?
In all honesty, nothing. They were outplayed, they were outclassed, they came up against a better team, and this is one of those that you put down as one of them days. You don't rewatch this, you don't drag the skeletons out of the closet, you put this one to bed and you leave it and you say, look, that was a cup competition, we've got to progress in the league. There was nothing really that the manager could take from that performance tonight. They weren't a real goal threat, they didn't enjoy any good possession. Listen, it's not a criticism because they came up against a Premier League side who were at their very, very best. They're in League One and they're in League One for a reason, and they were outplayed by a Premier League team. The manager will not want to look at that again, the players won't want to look at that again. There's not a lot that they can take from that. If anything, they just have to concentrate on the league form.
Yeah, up against a Premier League side, and a Premier League side with a point to prove, and Manchester United did exactly what they needed to this evening. They got the win, but they got it emphatically. It had finished here at Old Trafford. Manchester United 7, Barnsley 0.